All right, folks, hope you're all doing well. Welcome to the stream. It's going to be a King of the Hill tonight. What we're going to be doing is random faction selection, so we'll be rolling the old Wheel of Fortune to see what they're going to be playing, and that's pretty much it. It's been a while. Man, it feels like it's been ages. I think it's been, maybe a little bit over a week since we've streamed, if not longer. Man, I came down with some nasty cold. I don't know what the hell it was, but still, it still hit me. Like, even now, it's pretty crazy. That was probably one of the worst colds I've had in a while. But we're all good, man. Nurgle blesses, Sigmar blesses, and we're here to have some fun. So the first match of the day is going to be Outer Region and Professor Pone. And for anybody who wants to join this, anybody's welcome. It's basically just first come, first serve. We have a lobby open. The one thing you will need to have downloaded in order to play is going to be the Total Tavern Tournament map pack that we have. So without that, you won't be able to join. So let us waste no more time, have some fun here, and let's go ahead and get the old faction selected. So sorry. Gonna take a second here. OBS just updated the thing, so I'm having to relearn some of where everything is. All right, let's do it. So the first faction is going to be for Professor Pone. So let's go to the wheel. Oh, no, that's the wrong one. That's weird. Should that be the right one? Hold on a sec, guys. Where are we at? That should be it. I don't know why it's screwed that up. All right, one second here. I guess I'll just roll the factions. It's fine. We don't need to watch it. Yeah, the OBS just screwed up like all my plugins and everything, so. All right, rolling the wheel. This is going to be for Professor Pone here in a second, and he is going to be getting, let's see what it should be. Pone is getting, oh, he almost got Cathay there. Norska, Ogres, Tzeentch. All right, so we get Slaanesh. Slaanesh is going to be the choice for Professor Pone, and he's going to be facing off against Outer Region on. And we'll give the players each one reroll. So if they don't like a faction they get, they can always like choose to reroll or something like that. Yeah, it's going to be good. Good to be live. Grand Cathay. Okay, interesting. Yeah, the screen blocker is there on purpose, so I can look at the armies and whatnot. All right, so let me tell the players what it's going to be. So Slaanesh, and then for Outer Region, Grand Cathay. All right, let's see what you got. Good luck, have fun. Showtime. Hey, Zach, the big 12 months, I know. So you were, yeah, I guess you would have been like literally just a year ago. Thanks for being a channel member that long, my friend. All right, so let's get rid of this. I don't know if we need the blocker here for now, and we can hang tight. All right, so it's going to be Slaanesh versus Grand Cathay. Should be a fun one. Let's see if the players got their messages. Looks like they both did. I believe they're both selecting their armies, and the Eastern Isle Colony has some decent choke points actually. So there's certainly some elements of this map that I think old Grand Cathay could like. Haven't seen Cathay in some time. Actually, a decent matchup. I know it is. Love the crazy loud intros. That's loud intros. Oh, I'm sorry. That was really loud. Yeah, it's a third-party website. So let me check. I had the volume turned down to the minimum. Maybe I can just turn the volume off completely. All right. So let me see. Is there any way to turn the volume off like just 100%? I don't know. I'm sorry that I jump scare all of you guys. Going to be streaming AOS Realms of Ruin beta this weekend. Yeah, I am. Yeah, I'm going to be streaming it this weekend. I'm going to grab some folks and we'll get some games in there. We'll be trying out the Orcs as well as the Space Marines, so that should be pretty fun. Okay, I have no way to mute this. Maybe I'm just going to have to mute the desktop audio when I use the tool. Oh no, it's treason then. I guess that's how it's going to have to be. By the way, how's my audio sound? We had a power outage like a couple days ago, and it like completely reset my microphone and all the settings I had, so hopefully it sounds fine. If you right-click the tab, you can mute the volume at the top. Hey, that works. Thank you. Look at all you tech-savvy folks showing me the way. Big 20, glad to have another King of the Hill stream. Me too. It's going to be a lot of fun. Tonight's going to be great. We got some all-stars here, and they're going to be forced to play out of their comfort zone, which could illuminate some new meta for us. Could be great, right? Not applicable. What's up, Turin? Long-time viewer. Maybe one of these days I'll be able to make a fool of myself trying to compete. You should really just jump in and play. If you want to, obviously don't feel pressured, but if you got the itch, I've had tournaments where, there's been points where I've been, top, 5, top 6, whatever, top 10 in the world. And I've gone 0-3, 0-4 in tournaments and just gotten absolutely crushed. Everybody has bad days. There's no shame in it, right? So I just get in there, throw your hat in, have some fun, talk to some of the people you play, ask for feedback, it's a great way to meet people too if you're looking for a cool social circle. We got some great people in our community. Kaiser, thank you for the tenor. Glad to see you back, although I don't think Sigmar would bless. Yeah, oh man. Dude, I got Nurgled super, super hard. Yeah, I got Nurgled super hard. So we came back from, we went on a trip to Washington State We went up to the woods, and I was fine for the first like day or two we got back, but man, on day 3, I got flattened. And this was a while ago too, man. It was like a week of just being Palpatine in bed. Yeah, it was rough. It was rough for sure. Yeah, Medley, we'll play that map as well. We're gonna do all the new maps. Like, we're straight up just gonna go through the new maps and play those. So don't you worry, all the good times are going. Yeah, I love that map, Castle Ostucci. Yeah, it's a keeper for sure. It's a keeper. The boy who lived is back, dude. It was rough. Even still, I can't remember having something that lasted quite this long. I go 0-4 every tourney because I get too distracted to practice on a regular basis. Yeah, that'll get you too. But, you know, that's where single faction tournaments come in because, you know, you can still just focus on one faction and be okay for those, which is really fun. Yeah, it's going to be great. How you guys been, by the way? So, yeah, there's the new Age of Sigmar game coming out this weekend. Not coming out, but the open beta. So I'm going to try and get my paws on that one and see, and we'll give it a whirl. It looks like a combination of like a Dawn of War game and Company of Heroes, which I like both those games, so could be fun. Could be fun. I know there's only 2 of the 4 factions, though. I'm pretty sure they're, they have the Space Marines, and then they have the Cruel Boys. So that means that they're missing a Chaos faction, and they're missing a Death faction from the Age of Sigmar, like, run of alliances. So it'll probably be just Warriors of Chaos, or, you know, Slaves of Darkness, as they call them, in Age of Sigmar. And then I would guess it's just going to be the Night Haunts. Yeah, that would be my guess. Yeah, it would be my guess. Yeah, so that'll be going down on the weekend. Oh, of course, Professor Pone coming in with Inkari. Oh, yeah, look at this. The big one right there. Yeah, it's going to be good. Trajan, thank you for the $5. Hey, Turin, welcome back. How was 10th edition? Yeah, so it's I played a couple games of 10th edition 40k, and man, Death Guard suck really bad. They're pretty terrible compared to some of the other factions, like really, really bad. I think they're the worst faction in the entire edition. And I'm usually an optimist, and yes, I've won games. Okay, just because a Death Guard player appears on a forum somewhere and is like, "Oh, look, I won a game," they can't be the worst. Sure, there's so many variables pertaining to matchups, missions, you know, luck of the dice, right? But I've won my games, but I'm also playing against my friends who are brand new to the game. Like, I'm playing my friends who literally are playing their like 6th, 7th, 8th game ever. So yeah, I'm gonna win just based on experience. But man, the power level of the Death Guard feels really bad. But it's all good, you know. It's whatever. I got plenty of games to play, and they'll get fixed, and then I'll play, and I'll still play even though they suck. It's just, you know, I like playing with the minis I'm hating. Yeah, we'll do an Age of Empire stream too. Maybe tomorrow. We'll see. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are in the battle. It is one of our new maps, the Eastern Isle Colony. Check it out. Isn't this cool? We got the Grand Cathay fleets out at sea. I think that's a really, really nice touch. It looks like it almost looks like a lizardman colony a little bit too, with these like pylons of power and whatnot. But nonetheless, looking here at the forces of Ye Old Slaanesh, it's going to be some Marauders for Pone, backed up by a bunch of elite Demonettes. So what's kind of cool about Demonettes on this map is you can hide them in the trees here and then pop out between the different objectives. So there is a little bit of hiding space. You can also flank around the side of the map if you want to. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, you can work around the back. And granted, you wouldn't want to do this unless you had like a Hound or a 100-speed unit or something like that. So on top of that, we got Inkari. Inkari is a Punisher, but a very, very big target. 8,000 HP isn't the most, and Grand Cathay with Iron Hills, among other things, certainly can put some DACA down on Inkari and Professor Pone. Now, looking here at the glorious hordes of Outer Region, our resident champion of the Blood God being forced to play an Order faction. Because, again, tonight is random factions. He's got Jade Warriors, Dune Dragons. He's got the Wujing War Clan. I almost said the Wujing War Clan. Yeah, I was thinking Wujing Clan. Yeah. Nonetheless, Skylancer is going to be providing harmony and a little bit of sustained DACA into Inkari. And in the back, we do also have the Bandits of the Silver Road. So these things won't be bad against Demonettes, and also put some okay damage onto things like Inkari, who are very lightly armored. So I like that quite a bit. Should be fun. So basically, this map, it's a pretty brawly map. I like to compare it to the Lost Temple of Sotek, that kind of close quarters Lizardman map, where you can really bounce between the objectives pretty quickly. Some witchcraft is going down here. What is this? Oh no, Pone! It looks like Miao Ying saw all the demons hiding in the bushes, and Pone kind of got caught by it. Oh no. So the Talons of the Night comes out and is able to rip apart these Slaaneshi demons. That's easily going to be like probably 30% HP off that unit. Yep, oh my god, what a rough start. Pone's 2 Exalted Demonettes, or at least 1 Exalted Demonette, and the basic Demonette just got ripped to shreds. Yeah, man, that's a very rough start. Very rough start here. Seeker Chariots being called out. Seeker Chariots, of course, armor-piercing anti-infantry. And yeah, they can do some good work against armor if they're left unimpeded, but they're a very glass cannon unit with only 26 melee defense and 40 armor. Even if you leave them in like a sword unit, you're going to have kind of a bad time. So Slaanesh going to pull the trigger. Are they going to go for it? We get Demonettes popping out of the bushes. Chariot's leading the charge, and Kari leading the charge as well. So it looks like the Alpha Strike is on. Furies being sent in. I would wager the Furies are going to be sent after the guns here in the back, the Bandits of the Silver Region, because if those guns and bows are allowed to shoot, they'll definitely melt a lot of the Slaanesh demons. But nope, looks like they're going to be going after the Sky Lantern up in the sky. Frontline fight is underway. Professor Pone, Lash of Slaanesh, a nice one right there. Able to pop those very tightly packed units, and it is very good. It buffs your entire army, and now the Demonettes have made it into the Cathay infantry. And one of the issues for the Cathay troopers is that the Demonettes are, not being shot by any missiles at this point. Combat of Cassandora coming down from the Wuzhang War Compass. It is a miss as the Exalted Demonettes continue to butcher through the Jade Warriors, but so far, Grand Cathay's battle line's holding pretty well with the Wuzhang War Compass as well as the Sky Lantern giving the nice harmony. Certainly going to be feeling quite good. Another Thunderbolt going down right there on ye old Demonettes. And Kari, it looks like he might be going for a bit of a duel of fates here on Miao Ying. Now, Miao Ying does have a lot of healing, and yeah, now the fire damage is in full effect. So the Bandits of the Silver Road going to be putting some DACA down onto Inkari here, and it looks like a nice Lash of Slaanesh there by Pone. Not super disruptive, it doesn't do a ton of damage. The reason why I usually cast that spell is mainly just to trigger the Slaanesh lore passive. And the Demonettes will eventually win this frontline fight, but the question is Inkari going to be able to survive the wrath of Miao Ying? Also some Jade Lancers in here, certainly some nasty business. Up in the sky, we do see the Chaos Furies getting broken down. The dreaded Sky Lantern with its, I think 5,000 HP, give or take, is, it's hanging in there like a champ. In the backfield, what do we... Oh my god, did he just do a master flank with the Bringers of Beguilement? I think Pone straight up ran around the whole side of the map with the Bringers of Beguilement. Oh my god, that's so funny. And he's trying to chase down the Iron Hail Gunners. You're definitely going to want to keep on that chase because, it's going to be Gotham's Reckoning. The guns are turning about face. Pone needs to keep chasing here, but now these Demonettes are just going to get Shadow Realm. Not only are they getting blasted by shotguns, but they're also being hammered down by those archers in the distance, and the Bringers of Beguilement are not a cheap unit, so that's going to feel really, really bad for Pone. He grabs some, notices, and turns around and starts chasing again, and Kari does get into the backfield a little bit. Also, some Exalted Demonettes were able to slip through the cracks on the side. Oh, Chaos Knights of Slaanesh, badass. So big, heavily armored Chaos Knights have made it into the battle lines. They're going to be tearing apart these Jade Warriors. Not super quickly because of the armor, but even still, they have enough damage output that they'll get the job done. So value trading is going to be favoring the forces of Grand Cathay right now. A lot of that value, of course, on the Bringers of Beguilement, as well as Inkari here. But Inkari has gotten into the backfield with Exalted Demonettes, shutting down the Bandits of the Silver Road, and also effectively shutting down the Iron Hail Gunners. So this is a great play by Pone. Basically, what he did is he rampaged the Iron Hail Gunners and tagged them with the Bringers of Beguilement. Well, Bringers of Beguilement do have a rampage, if I'm not mistaken. Don't they? They have a rampage effect. Yeah, they do. Yeah, euphoric. That's pretty cost effective, and that's when Slaanesh can start to grind its way back into the game when its various ranged or melee assets aren't being just nuked by missiles and other tools like that. Inkari kind of going Super Saiyan, but we do see Miao Ying, the Dragon Emperor's favorite daughter, here on the hunt. And Inkari in a straight-up fight would do pretty good, but Inkari is a little bit damaged right now, so understandably the Demon of Slaanesh could be using some cunning tactics, pulling back, and trying to look for some, ideal, team-ups here, maybe getting some allies, getting the jump on the dragon. In the backfield, guns safe and online, and the bows are also online, but not before taking a lot of casualties. Looking at the value trading, 4.7 against 6.6. Looks like the forces of Grand Cathay are able to kind of repel the demonic invasion, and they have not lost the objective. During all of this, Grand Cathay, despite being pressed pretty heavily, has been able to hold on to the point. This could be a potential comeback for Pone. Witstealer's Sword is active. Oh, the Crab Claws of Doom, and Miao Ying kind of getting hammered a little bit. And I was about to say, that's how Pone would probably come back in this game, is if he could get Inkari to maybe take out Miao Ying, get that leadership advantage, have a greater demon running around without your opponent having any mass. We'll have to see. But man, those guns are back online, and Inkari is not someone that wants to be getting blasted by firepower. Certainly a very good melee duelist in isolated situations like that. But overall, the shotgun blasts were heard, and Inkari's going to be running for the hills. Now, Slaanesh hasn't really made too many plays on the back point. We haven't seen too much pressure here. Peasant Long Spearman, and I love how this Haggard Sky Lantern is actually able to reach and provide a little bit of value. That's pretty funny, but I can't help but think that the forces of Slaanesh are running out of steam a little bit. It looks like the Bandits of the Silver Road, in tandem with the Iron Hail Gunners here, were able to clean up a lot of the demonic incursion. And yes, we do get some nice Marauders of Slaanesh moving in with their spears. They'll be able to potentially poke down the Wuzhang if it just sits amongst them. But yeah, they're going to lose to the Dune Dragons here. Dune Dragons are pretty healthy, and most of the good quality infantry that Pone did have are pretty much in the can. And honestly, the value trading in this game is pretty close. I think a big variable was in the beginning when we saw the Demonettes, the Exalted Demonettes in the tree line just getting absolutely pounded by that big AoE spell. That was a really, really rough start. That took down several of the elite Slaanesh infantry. Now, what Slaanesh can do in response is start pressuring the side points and forcing the more static, kind of less dynamic forces of Grand Cathay to have to move and keep pace with Slaanesh, which I think is something they should have been doing in the beginning. Like maybe feign an attack right here, right? So if you're Slaanesh, what you do is you grab your army, you move up, you feign, and then when they react, you switch the shaft over this way. And then you're heading on over to Objective 2 and forcing them to kind of bounce back and forth. Granted, this is a pretty good map for Grand Cathay, I would say. It's a map in which they can kind of defend both the priority objectives with relative efficiency. But that was a nice catch right there. Hellstriders taking down the Jade Lancers. And now Inkari and company going to be pressing the back objective, 7.1 to 8.7. Miao Ying does have healing, though, so there is a little bit of healing variables to be taken into account. Marauder Horsemen throwing javelins, poking away, doing what they can. Nice little arrow fire. Hey, it's a Slaanesh game, guys, and it's the first stream back in a while. We gotta have some fun there. But even still, Hellstriders, they ain't what they used to be, but still doing a decent amount of damage against these Jade Warriors. With Inkari's help, they might be able to get the break and or the leadership route. And he's now maneuvering over with the Seekers. And this is a really, really good play for sure. It's kind of a nice little lane in which Slaanesh can move down, but yeah, look at this. The Righteous Lances evasion coming in. Righteous Lances, the armor piercing is not super necessary against Slaanesh. Granted, Slaanesh can go armor spam sometimes. I found that to be a pretty viable tactic against Grand Cathay, using just a ton of armor and like a Sigval type character and just these things that are very tough for them to remove. But even still, Inkari here in massive, massive danger. Sitting at 27 leadership, and it looks like there's going to be an acquiescence being used on the Righteous Lances, which will be slowing them down, maybe allowing Inkari to kind of slip away here. But overall, Slaanesh seems to be running out of steam pretty hard. There's a very, very just hard bastion over here. You can see Grand Cathay's just got a lot of good quality infantry. They were able to kind of win out on that grind, and Slaanesh doesn't really seem to have the steam here. And I think once Inkari goes down, that's probably going to be GG. I wouldn't be surprised to see Old Pone tap out here. We do see Inkari at 5 leadership and currently sitting at 460, -1. Witstealer's Sword is active, and that is going to be GG for sure. As the demons are just out of steam, and Grand Cathay is... They're not good at retaking objectives once they've lost them, but if they can get their clutches on an objective and just get some tanky shit on there with Harmony, especially from the Sky Lanterns, that's actually really cool. They can hang on there and do their thing. So GG, well played. All right, it's game 1. First King of the Hill is going to be Outer Region. Well played to Pone. I'm sure he has to go to bed anyways because I know he's got work tomorrow. So probably a bit of a blessing in disguise for the old Pone dog. But he came in, he gave us what we wanted. He gave us the big scary Greater Demon. And honestly, of all the things in his army, the Greater Demon is one of the things that did pretty good. 2,700 is a very respectable amount of value, considering there's also magic there. The Exalted Demonettes getting nuked in the beginning, that was rough. That was a very brutal start for sure. Chaos Knights, always my power fantasy. Granted, I don't think Chaos Knights are amazing against Grand Cathay, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. GG, well played. Fun one. Well played. Good stuff, Pone. And now we can update this. And by the way, anybody is welcome to join. And the score to beat, just the format, if you look on the scoreboard, the score to beat is in the bottom right corner. It's underneath Outer Region's name. So that's going to be the current highest score that the King of the Hill has to beat. And the score is going to be reflected next to the current King's status there. So, all right. Let's do this. And now we have Hadri's in here. Oh my God, the heavy hitters coming out tonight. So let's go ahead and do Castle Ostuchi. Yes. It is a Totemo Sugoi. How do you say beautiful in Japanese? I think it's Omoshiroi. I can't remember. It's been a long time, but it's a lovely map. That was a great one. All right. So Ostuchi Castle is here. Let's go ahead and roll the factions here. And let's do this. And I can mute this. All right. I think I muted the site, so hopefully you guys don't get jump scared. Just to be safe, I'll turn off the desktop audio. All right. So if we won't do the same factions, it'll have to be 2 different factions than the previous game, but I'll let them get refreshed later. So yeah, but we'll keep it honest with the each game one after the other will at least have something different. All right, so we got the Legions of Chaos for Hadri's, and for Outer Region, it's going to be, let's see. Okay, the faction's coming up right now. Thank you guys all for joining tonight. It's been quite a bit of fun so far. Demons of Chaos versus the Empire. All right. So let me unmute this, and we got Empire for you, and Hadri's is going to be Demons of Chaos. Third die. Okay. Okay, sounds good. So the players are doing their business right now. Let's go ahead and get the nameplates up here. Get them updated. Sky Lantern's OP, dude. Are we seeing the forbidden long lost tech? It could be so. It could be so. It's a random factions tonight, so we're rolling a Wheel of Fortune basically, and the players are just getting something completely random here. Is Hadri's going to take the reroll? I don't think so. It looks like he switched on to them. He looks happy. Are we going to see the dreaded red Ogre here? I don't know. It could be. Yeah, Steel Faith and Gunpowder on our Nippon. I like this. This map is, it just, as soon as I saw the castle on this map, which you guys are going to see in a second, it just brought me straight back to the old Shogun days. Is it just me, or were the siege battles in Shogun pretty good? Like, I vividly remember the year was 2000, I can't remember, 11 or 10. But I vividly remember, like, enjoying Shogun siege battles. Like, when I was playing it in college, yeah, I was like, yeah, I don't know. Is that just like rose-colored glasses, or is that like, were the siege battles in Shogun just that much better than Total War Warhammer? I mean, it doesn't matter too much to me since I only care about multiplayer, but, you know. Hey, Smeagol, how you doing, man? Smeagol, do you play this game? You play a little bit of Total War? Be interesting to see your schemes. Would you play the Skaven? Would you embrace the true Undercity? All right, so he's going to play Demons of Chaos. So we're all set. One sec, guys. Just going to grab some water here, and I'll be back in just a moment. Yes, yes. All right, I'm back. Let's see what we got here. All right, Demons of Chaos vs. Empire. Ostucci Castle is on. We have a bunch of new maps, actually. Let's go and take a look through all of them. So we'll go through as many as we can today. I believe Battered Bluffs is new. Arbiter's Grounds is new. We have some of the map makers here in chat, so you guys can let me know which ones are new if I do miss any. But we did the Eastern Isle Colony. So now we're going to do Ostucci Castle, which is actually, before I came down to the dreaded Nurgle's Affliction last week, I had a single faction tournament with the Empire, and this was one of the maps that I played. So I made it to the semifinals, ended up playing Hadri's on this map. Yeah, it was a good one. It was a really, really nice match. All right, we're back. They were pretty decent, the naval battles. I've never cared about naval battles that much. I don't know. It never did it for me. I guess, yeah. I always just would always just want to do land battle. You know, get on fighting the lands. Yeah. Somebody in chat says, just got into Total War since Steam had it on sale. What's a competitive faction that isn't too micro-intensive? Norska is a good one, honestly. Like, Norska is the ultimate, like, beginner faction, I would say. They have a pretty limited range of heroes to choose from, so it's pretty straightforward, you know, and their units are all individually very good, with the exception of maybe their chariots, I guess, which aren't, like, the best, but I guess their chariots aren't the terrible, but there's just better options, I feel. But yeah, Norska is one of the best beginner factions. I always recommend them. They're very much like caveman style. You know, you just grab a rock, beat it against the ground, and in that metaphor, your opponent is the ground. Yeah. But it depends, you know. I mean, ultimately the game, the units look so cool, and it's so fun to get into the immersion of it all. I would pick like what you like based on flavor. I mean, it's not like there's a massive esports scene for this, so like playing the most competitive faction isn't always like the most important, but even still, yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of cool factions to choose from. I'm rooting for Hadri's bringing the cornflakes for the Blood God. If it's random faction selection tonight, so yeah, the players will be getting randomly selected. I'm basically spinning a wheel between every game to determine what the players are playing. I love Empire naval battles, but yeah, you see, yeah, if it's a game that's more designed around it. Like, Warhammer Fantasy Battles wasn't really known for its naval conflicts. I mean, yes, it did have a naval game. I forget what it was called. Was it called? Yeah, like, what was the fantasy navy game called that they had? I remember you could have the Heldenhammer, which was like the Empire ship. The Dreadfleet was there with Count Noctilus and stuff. But yeah, it's more of a tertiary aspect to the setting, right? Whereas, like, it's all about these big epic battles on land, in my opinion. Chaos isn't as easy as Norska, in my opinion. I think Norska is easier because they just don't have as many options. So it's like, it's harder to make mistakes. Whereas with Norska, you could just bring any smattering of infantry and just, just bring, a caster and Wulfric with his Seafang, and like you already got like a solid competitive build, Was it just straight up called Dreadfleet? Okay. Man of War? Yeah, maybe. I think you guys are onto it. I think you're onto it. All right, Hadri's sticking with the old Demons of Chaos here. Yes, yes. Not switching it up. I'm curious what he's going to bring. Against the Empire, probably a Bunicaster. It has to be a Bunicaster. So he'll probably go with like some sort of a Nurgle character, like a Herald of Nurgle with Death. And the reason why you do that is because you can cast Fate of Buna on grenade launchers and pretty much one-shot them. So the real Empire tech is to, the real Empire tech is to not bring grenade launchers in this matchup. So your opponent's Buna is just kind of wasted. And then they're just sitting there with the dead caster. And then you spend that money elsewhere. That's like the double layered mind game here in this situation. Yeah. All right. Somebody in chat saying, long-time viewer just getting into multiplayer. Hey, thank you. I really appreciate it, man. Does it matter what mods we have installed for multiplayer? Yeah, so if you're looking to play in our events and play with, most people who play in the community, you're going to want to have just the map pack installed. And I would recommend finding games in our Discord because it's going to be, Creative Assembly sadly didn't do a very good job with the current, quick battles and whatnot. So I would recommend joining our Discord and finding people to practice with there. And then when there's events, you can sign up, and it's super fun. It's super fun. Yeah, dwarves are somewhat easy in regards to just sitting back and shooting. That's more true in land battle. In Dom, you have to maneuver for the objectives a little bit more, whereas in land battle, you can just kind of sit in a box with a cannon and force your opponent to attack you. But even still, dwarves are not as easy as people think. I still think there's a skill set that comes to playing them, and when it comes to the allocation of resources and the decisions you make in terms of moving your units are very important because you're super slow. So if you send some units the wrong way, it's going to take them years to go the right direction. You see what I'm saying? So I think dwarves are harder to play than people give them credit for. Yeah, but in land battle, it's a bit of a different beast because you could just get some tanky units, sit in a box, have missiles inside the box, have slayers protecting what's inside the box, and it's it's very it can be very mouth breathing for sure. When's the Tzeentch DLC? Yeah, is that the first one on the? Yeah, so what is it going to be? Tzeentch. What was it? Kislev and then Grand Cathay. I would probably say before the end of the summer would be my guess. So maybe I don't know, September, August would be kind of what I'm thinking, but I don't know. We'll have to see. Dwarves equal yelling, get in my guard. Yeah. Yeah, from a jiu-jitsu perspective. All right, ladies and gentlemen, taking a look here are the forces of Outer Region. Champion of the Blood God taking up the mantle of Sigmar. And, of course, Boris Todbringer is extremely good. He doesn't do magic damage like Fran, so he doesn't get that extra 20% damage against demons, but he's super independent. His healing is really nice. The ability to kind of crumble things leadership doesn't hurt. Couple wagons, and we do have the Temple off Luminarch. So this is a very, very chub. Yeah, let's look at the map real quick, by the way. So this is Castle, Ostucci Castle, which I believe was made by Medley, right? Medley, was this made by you? Or because I know you mentioned it earlier, but yeah, it's really cool. So we got the Shogun 2 Castle. You have the cherry blossoms, you have the rice fields and everything. Man, it is just a lovely map. I really like this. Imagine if these maps were in the quick battle system. I'm working on it. I think I might have made a little bit of progress. So stay tuned. We'll see what we can do. But Temple off Luminarch is here, and yeah, this thing's pretty good at snapping. Just sniping demons and things like that. So if there's a big single entity demon, whether it be a soul grinder, some sort of a flying character, it's going to be able to get the job done. War wagons, spears, state troopers, and a burning headcaster to clear out plague bearers. That's classic stuff. Now for the forces of the legendary Hadris, it's going to be a battle line of Nurglings, so little popcorn bandits. And yeah, Nurglings you don't need much more than that to fight state troopers, honestly. I'm pretty sure a Nurgling unit will trade pretty evenly with an Empire Swordsman. Empire Swordsmen have 8.2. The stat lines are pretty damn similar. Nurglings do have access to poison, though, and do have the kind of unbreakable thing going for them. Granted, they can be breaking down. The back Chromatic Abominations, the Blazing Squealers, the dreaded Tzeentch Arawar Daka line here. So Hadri's brought both of the Tzeentch Arawar shooting units. He brought the Blazing Squealers, which are the Exalted Pinks, and he also brought the Chromatic Abominations, which I'm curious about their applications against the Empire. I mean, in theory, they can sit and shoot state troopers down pretty effectively, so yeah, it should be fun. Hadri's with a Bunicaster, was I right? No, I wasn't. I was actually wrong. It's going to be a Nurgle caster with Stream of Corruption and Fleshy Abundance, as well as Locus of Fecundity, which is a bound ability, and he's going to be on foot, which is going to make him slightly harder to snipe. I really thought it'd be a Bunicaster just to counter the grenade launcher spam, but yeah, obviously Nurgle healing is always welcome. Here in the middle, we got two Demons of Khorne, so these are going to be Blood Reapers. Blood Reapers are anti-infantry and armor-piercing, so they can move in, and they can pretty much chop through any sort of Empire troopers. And the idea is that they're kind of hard to shoot because you mix them in with your troops, and then you just sit them on the objective, and you cackle and heal them up using Nurgle magic, which I think is pretty cool. Boris Todbringer going after Nurglings, looking to have some popcorn here. Outer Region going after the old little bandits here. You can see currently they're shaken. Their leadership is at 25, but you know what? They're going to be holding on for the Plague God. My cold that I've had for the past week is empowering the Nurgle forces here in this game. Man, that was a straight up Nurgle cold though. Yeah, it was no joke. So up on the high ground on this lovely, lovely map, we do have a couple spear units. They're going to be grabbing onto objective number 1. So the state troopers stand at the ready, general. And it looks like the Empire strategy is just going to be anchoring down on objective 1 and objective 2, and probably ignoring objective 3 for now, I would say. But Hadrius has got his Demons of Chaos, and up in the sky we have Plague Drones. Interesting. So Plague Drones coming out here for Hadrius. Now these things are armor piercing, and if they can catch a wagon and just sit on top of it, they can do work. But Unholy Hand Grenades are what I'm really curious about. So throwing the first Unholy Hand Grenades, but it looks like they're going to be partially intercepted by Boris, and then they'll just kind of run away here. So Hadrius with some forbidden Demons of Chaos tech, it would seem. And yeah, wagons shooting into the Nurglings isn't like a huge deal, right? It's not going to be hurting too bad. So for the most part, little popcorn bandits just going to be eating those shots to the face for the Plague God, and that's what they enjoy doing. Yeah, and here comes Luminarch. Luminarch's going to be zoning in. I don't know if he sees the Herald of Nurgle. He doesn't. Okay, the Herald of Nurgle is currently actually invisible in the tree line here. You can see his head. So the old Luminarch not going to be able to get the jack in. We do see some range firepower coming in for Outer Region. So Outer Region going to be going for a triple cap actually here, as the dreaded Empire War Wagons being used in melee. And you know, people often forget that War Wagons can do some nice damage in melee. I mean, it's not nice is probably an exaggeration, but they can do some damage as they run over these Nurglings here and do a little bit of HP damage. It's not the, you know, it is slowing down the cap, right? Because these War Wagons have some capture weight, so it is preventing the demons from getting that objective at a very expeditious rate there. So, all right, Temple off Luminarch. It's zoned in on the Toads. The Barons of the Bog are going to be the first ones to get laser beams, so let's go ahead and keep tabs on this. Here comes the laser beam. You can see it charging in the distance. I love myself a Luminarch. Gosh, it's the best thing ever. Here it comes. And it nails a couple Toads. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Does take down a couple of those Barons. Looks like they lost 3 models in total. So, hey, you know, it's definitely not an awful target. Now, up in the sky, we do have Hadri sending in his Plague Drones of Nurgle. And it looks like those bad boys going to be hunting down the Luminarch here. But immediately, the Empire is going to be getting its War Wagons about face. And most likely will use the Net of Amatok on the Plague Drones if they get too close. He does also have Free Company Militia here, and it looks like another War Wagon's going to be getting called in from the distance there on the other side. Hey, Gunhound, how you doing? In the next couple days, yes. In the next couple days. So a little bit of Daka moving in, and not doing bad damage against Barons. Barons do have a pretty massive HP. Hadri's also calling in the Hounds of the Blood Hunt, so those are the Arwar Fleshhounds here. As Boris Todbringer tries to take a fight up in the sky, going to be going after the Plague Drones. Are they going to land and try and lure Boris on the ground? It doesn't look like it, but so far the Empire pretty comfortable on their 2 points here. I do think that the old Luminarch needs to be shooting at these little demons here. The Blood Reapers would die incredibly quickly. The Luminarch itself does magic damage, which would circumvent their physical resist, and I 100% think that that would probably be the power play you would want to do here. But the Baron's moving up here. Yes, the aquatics are in play, yeah. There could be some aquatics. If you guys are Lizardman mains, rejoice. You found a map where your skinks and other aquatic creatures can enjoy the water here. A little bit of jacket coming down from the Tzeentch. Pink Horrors and Blazing Squealers shooting at old Boris Todbringer up in the sky, but it looks like Toddy's able to kind of mitigate that firepower pretty well by juking back and forth there. Up in the sky, we do see the old Plague Drones trying to get some Death's Heads grenades. And apologies for the lag. It hopefully should subside in between games. Well, it sometimes happens, you know, some players. It just, it's the nature of Total War. Dedicated servers win, please. It's like a slideshow podcast. Always great. So Free Company Militia putting some respectable damage here on the Blood Reapers, actually. And it looks like Outer Region is going to be taking the fight with the Swordsman, or it's hard to tell. It almost looks like he's pulling back a little bit. Luminarch taking a big downtown shot at the Barons of the Bog. Is it going to hit? A swing and a... Oh, there it goes. How many are going to go down here? Hadri's does use the Fleshy Abundance, but not before one of the Toads just gets popped by that Luminarch. I got to say, that looks pretty cool for sure when they get that big deck. But now the Nurglings are moving in. Boris Todbringer should be able to just dominate these Blood Reapers in combat, though. Blood Reapers are anti-infantry characters, so they're not going to have a good time versus like something like Toddy, which is just going to get the job done in terms of, you know, taking them down. Demons now going to be moving up, though. Barons of the Bog and Nurglings coming in from all directions. State Troopers standing at the ready on the objective. Free Company Militia, Daka also in support. And Toddy is just giving the dirty to this Blood Reaper as we expected. I mean, they're not the most defensive creatures. Khorne characters in general have pretty good combat stats. It's not like they're bad fighters. Dude, look at that. Just wild-ass State Trooper there doing some spinning shield bash. I love it. I think my favorite is the Sparta Kick, though. It's got to be my favorite attack animation. So both Blood Reapers are going to be turning about face to go after Boris Todbringer right there. So you might have a little bit of trouble in a 2v1 situation, but even still, you might be able to get the job done against one of the Blood Reapers, although up in the sky we do see the Plague Drones moving in. Plague Drones going to be susceptible to some of the Daka. Ooh, Silver Bullets are back there. Silver Bullets are so good against demons. The fact that they do magic damage is just such a nice little damage buff. And Net of Amatok going down as well. So the big drones in the sky in danger. Toads on their way in. Barons of the Bog going to be colliding with the spear line, which is also kind of a bit of a tar pit with some Nurglings as well. But one Blood Reaper actually unstable at like 40% HP. That's got to feel really, really bad. As Boris Todbringer going to be finishing one demon? No, it actually stabilizes. That was crazy. And it just goes to show, man, Boris can lower leadership by up to 12. So things that normally wouldn't be crumbling, you know, can go down pretty quickly if the Todd is involved. But that shooting of the Empire is certainly paying huge dividends up here. It looks like there's going to be a demonic spell going down from Hadri's. Is that a Stream of Corruption? I think he might have misclicked there. It looks like it's going to be dodged for the most part. We do see some DACA from the Blazing Squealers and the Pink Horrors of Tzeentch. These are just Free Company Militia, though, so they're not like a super expensive target. But even still, that little popcorn DACA does do some decent work. Demons crumbling down, though. We do see one Herald going into the old trash can while Boris Todbringer continues to get the job done up in the sky. We also see the Plague Drones going down. Hadri swarming in the flank. A lot of Toads coming in, but the Plague Toads of Nurgle probably don't want to be fighting State Troopers with Spear and Shield. Not that they'll do like terribly against them, but honestly, for the price point, the Spearmen would probably win that fight, or at least do very, very well in it, and would be a downward trade for the Forces of Chaos. Yeah, Empire looks to have stabilized the middle pretty well. The Empire Knights coming in, providing a nice high-mass roadblock as Boris Todbringer able to hammer down one of the Blood Reapers. Most likely will get back up in the sky and cycle charge the other one here. We see a lot of DACA coming in from Hadri's, as he does have this backfield of Blazing Squealers. And man, this is let me make sure it's not mine. No, it's not. Okay, it's one of these guys who's having some lag issues, unfortunately. But yeah, we've seen a little bit of Burning Head, but yeah, hopefully their lag will subside. How come Horrors never seem to do as much damage as their stats suggest? It depends on what they're shooting, you know? They don't have armor piercing, like really good AP value, so sometimes the Horrors can be shooting into like wagons and different things like that and not do the most damage. Luminarch shot from downtown, right in the face. The old Nurgle demon getting popped. His leadership going down to 46 instantly. Quite a bit of HP loss as the Empire continues to fight here. We see Boris Todbringer cleaving through the Blood Reaper. A little bit of gunfire in the back. Silver bullets are obstructed. Maybe you want to relocate those guys, or maybe have the silver bullets turned about face to face the oncoming onslaught here of the Plague God. A lot of Toads, little popcorn bandits moving in. Turn that unit just got destroyed by those blues. Yeah, no, they can do some okay damage against light armor for sure. They absolutely can. Here comes the Toad Rush. Spearmen going to be trying to saturate in to deal with them. It looks like 2 Spearmen are sitting up on Objective 1. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Empire player maybe grab one of these Spearmen and bring it over to Objective 2 to try and hold that one down. Here in the back, Blazing Squealers and the Pink Horrors of Tzeentch putting some decent pressure on things. And honestly, look at the ammunition. Blazing Squealers are at 80%, and the other pinks here, so this is a standard pink, seem to be in pretty good shape as well. And man, Boris Todbringer took a lot of damage right there from the pink squad. They did so much work, so he's probably going to be forced back right now. And can the Empire Knights and State Troopers drag down the Toads? That is the question. Looks like Silver Bullets have drawn their guns onto the Toads. A little bit of obstruction. Classic can gunner units, always a good time. Empire Knights on the low ground, a little bit tar-pitted in Nurglings. And now we do see Free Company Militia moving towards objective number 3. And man, out of desperation here, the War Wagons are moving in. So the War Wagons are being used as an anti-infantry chariot, which I suppose isn't the worst. If you can shut down the Blazing Squealers, which of course hit pretty damn hard, those things do have 37 missile strength and also imbue fire weakness, an additional 10% on top of that. That's not bad at all. So the wagons get used as a bit of a battering ram, and now there's going to be a Burning Head coming in. So the Burning Head going to be tickling through these guys, and yeah, that should melt quite a few of these demons, as it does get the nice engagement there. So Empire holding on here. Toads trying to cap it, but the Toads are being, I would say, a little bit outgrinded here. Blood Reaper is still steady, but those fleshy abundances, that's one of my favorite things about Demons of Chaos in general, is like being able to mix and match the different lores of magic. Like having an entire Khorne army with like a Slaanesh caster to give them the Blissful Rapture, or like Khorne units with Nurgle healing. Like there's so many fun little synergies you can use with the Demons of Chaos, and they really have a lot of unexplored meta. I honestly think they're a pretty underrated faction. Nonetheless, that Burning Head there, pretty disruptive. Didn't like wipe anything out, but it did get through the shields, and the wagons are doing some very good harrying here. One Nurgling here wavering, as Boris Todbringer keeps going after the Blood Reaper. A couple State Troopers are retreating, and the Toad battle lines are holding pretty firm. I think the Spearmen and the Brightcaster, as well as the Empire Knights, probably will prove to be a little bit problematic for them. It looks like Hadri's calling in some Battle Toads. So the Battle Toads of Hadri's are on their way over, and they're going to be trying to push the War Wagons off the Tzeentch shooting, which isn't a bad idea. Plague Toads of Nurgle, even though they are bonus first infantry, they do have 30 melee attack and good armor piercing. So they can, for sure, take down wagons if they're able to get them into like a sustained grind of sorts. Free Company Militia moving in the back, but the Blazing Squealers are not slouches in combat. They have 48 melee defense. They're really good fighters. So the Exalted Pink Horrors of Tzeentch would for sure dominate the Free Company Militia in a straight-up fight. They would need a little bit of support, maybe some grenade launchers coming in, and it looks like just more Free Company Militia. And the Luminarch, yeah, what has the Luminarch been doing? I don't know if I've seen that thing active in quite some time. But Toddy does finish off the Blood Reaper. That thing is crumbling so incredibly fast. Demonic crumbling is pretty serious stuff. as we do see the Blood Reaper down to negative 32 leadership. Its HP just going down super quick, and Toddy's certainly not hearing any bell whatsoever. In the middle, how are the Toads looking? They're kind of waving in terms of leadership. Hadri's certainly falling a little bit behind in this game. He does have a little bit of healing to compensate for his value deficit, but the problem is he's down on value as well as on objectives. The Empire is up pretty heavily on points. 423 against 176. Free Company Militia trying to get up on the hill and cause disruption. And man, these war wagons doing the work of Sigmar for sure. But it looks like the Tzeentchian shooting might find a way to get free here. We'll have to see. And the Temple off Luminarch just appears to be heavily obstructed. At this point, I don't even know what you shoot with it. Probably just Plague Toads. There's not like any big demons or anything. And in the backfield, Empire Knights were able to intercept Nurglings and the Hounds of the Blood Hunt. So pretty cost effective using that Empire armor to roadblock them there. Yeah, no. Typically, you always want to bring the shields on the spearmen if you can afford it. It makes them very good. I mean, these are basic spearmen who have 34 melee defense, which for 300 gold is quite a good deal. But where they really shine is when you get the spearmen with the shields. Even in matchups in which you don't think you need shields, having that extra melee defense, it puts them up over 40, which is pretty insane. But I mean, there are arguments to be made for going like super wide and just having more of a more troopers in general, and especially if you're not playing like ranged heavy factions. Granted, Demons of Chaos have a little bit of range. But yeah, it looks like the battle lines have been broken down. The demons have just completely folded in the middle. State troopers are going to be able to clear out the remnants of the Nurglings most likely. Toddy has killed both Blood Reapers, and now it looks like he's going for the kill on the character here. So going after the Nurgle caster, the Herald of Nurgle, who's in a bad fighter, mind you. 61 melee defense is pretty respectable, and that's going to be a good stream of corruption here from Hadri's, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, nice stream of corruption right there. Just corrupt many of those poor Empire State troopers. And on the other side, the wagons still being disruptive. Free Company Militia have also gotten into combat, and they're not doing a lot, but at the very least, it is keeping this like really valuable unit of DACA. So pinks cost 700, and the Blazing Squealers I think cost over 1,000 gold. So it's almost 2,000 gold worth of demonic shooting that's being shut down, while the wagons themselves are still generating some decent value. Because they shoot while they're in melee as well, so they're getting it done. Nurglings getting popped by the Sigmar Sons. Middle objective held here by Outer Region, and we do see ye old Herald of Nurgle here, looking to be in a little bit of danger as Boris Todbringer continues just clawing this thing down. His HP isn't that big, and the Bright Wizard is also nearby too. Bright Wizard, yeah, it does do fire damage, doesn't it? Does it? Really? I always thought that there were some weird things where Bright Wizards didn't do fire damage. But yeah, it's going to be a nice heroic character to help out in this situation. More Toads coming in for old Hadri. Spearmen, though, are just anchoring down everything. It seems like the demons are really having a bit of a problem dealing with the State Troopers and the Spearmen and just the sheer number of units. And yeah, the Mantide is here. Silver Bullets, as well as more Free Company Militia with a nice kind of U-shaped concave right here. Going to be able to get that DACA down into the to the old Toads over on the far side. So the Toads are making their way in. Demon Lord is crumbling down. He's very close to crumbling. Man, Toddy's leadership stuff is really good. So it's Crush the Weak, which is -4, and then Blood Roar, which is -8. So those two debuffs, I mean, that's big. This thing would normally be at almost 30 leadership right now, but instead it's kind of at the brink of breaking. So Bright Wizards didn't deal fire damage for the longest time. Yeah, I didn't think I was crazy. I thought there was something there. So guns blasting into the demons as the old Nurglings do get popped. On the backside, it looks like the Demons of Chaos are going to get their objective potentially stolen. However, they do have a nice pocket of strength here. You know, they got the Blazing Squealers. It looks like some Toads have made their way over. But yeah, overall, this little pocket isn't going to be enough, as I believe the Nurgle Lord probably will be crumbling here soon. Sitting at 5 leadership. If he gets hit like a couple more times by Boris Todbringer and that Bright Wizard, he's probably it's going to be game losses for him. And at that point, Hadri's would probably surrender, because I think the Empire's got this one in the bag. It's not like it's a super tenuous push on either objective here. We do get some Seekers coming in, but Seekers are going to have trouble wrestling this objective from Spearmen. Now, however, it looks like there are some Plague Bears nearby. All right, so Hadri's still got a little bit of fight left in him here, as he does move some Plague Bears to grab that far side objective with Seekers. So that's pretty strong, because Plague Bears will tie down the Spearmen, and then Seekers will massacre these Free Company. So there's a little something going there. Another wind spell from Hadri's going to be tickling these Free Company militia, so those bad boys going to be paying the Troll Toll. Seems like some of the lag has subsided, not to put a curse on it or anything, but yes, the classic Empire surround. You can see the Empire has like a full surround on this demonic army and is just literally grenade launching and shooting them with everything. You know, that's why the Empire is the coolest faction. Like grenade launchers and just cool dudes with cool floppy hats. I mean, who doesn't want to, whose life goal is it not to have an outfit like this? Just little Nurglings just flying in the air. God, imagine how terrifying it would actually be to fight a Nurgling. You know, like they might like look comedic to us from the outside, but if you were just like some dude, you know, with this kind of setup, man, I mean, battling a Nurgling would be absolutely terrifying. I mean, that the same goes for like a clan rat too. Like they look like a meme when you look at them, but like you're like, yeah, that would actually be like a really, really scary experience for sure. So Outer Region able to get the middle, but that Nurgle character is still holding on. Hasn't heard no bell. Locust of Fecundity going down, but the Toads are sent into combat. Unfortunately for them, they're going to be battling a staunch wall of spears there, and we do have swordsmen and state troopers grinding through the Nurglings and the Corn Flesh Hounds. And the grenade launcher is definitely getting a lot of work in here. As the Blazing Squealers are pretty close to crumbling down, this objective probably will flip soon-ish. It depends if Outer Region wants to commit more resources. In the meantime, we do see some hounds moving over. So the Hounds of the Blood Hunt, the Arwar Khorne Bloodhounds, going to be chasing down the Temple of Luminark. Not a bad idea. It's not that they should definitely be going after the grenade launchers, though. The Luminark doesn't really have too many good targets. Hadrius did a good job of making sure of that. Now, up on this side, it's getting a little bit messy. Free Company Militia, though, with some really, really good defensive tactics here. So they basically kite the Plague Bearers back, and they get some really, really cost-effective shooting into the Seekers. And yeah, the Plague Bearers now are on the objective, obviously, but they're super slow, right? 27 speed. So like the Empire player can kind of kite them and run circles around them. And it looks like there is going to be some Empire heavy cavalry coming up, some Empire Knights, to try and deal with the Seekers of Slaanesh, which are now pulling back right now. So yeah, having to fight another human, for sure, would absolutely be scary. But I think there's something to be said about fighting like these like demons and otherworldly creatures, right? Yeah, something that's just so foreign. Right, because these state troopers might train fighting other humans, but when you probably don't train to fight a clan rat, right? Well, the clan rat just kind of shows up, and you're like, "What the hell is that thing?" And it's like climbing on the walls and shit. So Toddy's going to get back up into the sky. The Nurgle demon looks like it does stabilize for now. Toddy has a little bit of room in his healing cap, but not too much. He actually kind of got beat up in that trade a little bit. But low ground is going to be going to the Sons of Sigmar as the Pink Horrors and the various demonic units here do get crumbled down. Empire Knights certainly getting a good engagement there. And high ground seems to be held, so it looks like that's going to be a pretty rock-hard triple cap going down here for the old forces of Sigmar, as the Empire Knights are discarding the Free Company Militia, while the Spearmen, unfortunately for them, are going to get massacred by Hadri's Plague Bearers. Plague Bearers are very good at killing lightly armored infantry. They hit very hard. They have like, what, 50 weapon strength or something like that? Yeah, 48. Another scary thing to fight, right? Take a look. You could take a Nurgling. That's kind of the thing. Nurglings are actually bigger than you think. There's a scene in, I can't remember what it is. What book is that? It was a 40k book where, like, I think like an Imperial Guardsman like gets caught battling a Nurgling in a bunker, and it's like a gnarly. It's not like, I can't remember who wins the fight, but I remember there's like the threat of the Guardsman losing that fight. So it's I guess it depends, because Nurglings come in different shapes and sizes too. There's bigger ones, there's smaller ones, but I mean they're pretty savage little guys for sure. Unsummon's going down to the bottom, so the wagon's going to be sent back to get them back in the old repertoire of units. But this game's 100% over. I don't see any way that Hadri's can possibly come back. The Seekers of Slaanesh have made their way over to the middle, and they're going to get the silver bullets, which is certainly nice, but the Empire just has complete dominance over the battlefield. Plague Song? Is that the book? I can't remember if I read it or not, or read the book Plague Song. Yeah. Nurglings are pretty terrifying, though. I personally don't think most humans could probably take one. Yeah, especially, I mean, it depends. If you have some sort of a weapon, maybe. But if you're just, like, barehanded, yeah, no way. No way. GG, well played. Sorry about the lag. We didn't have lag the first game, so hopefully we'll have a pretty good run from here. But nonetheless, that's going to be a victory for Outer Region, who currently has the score to beat at 2. So anybody's welcome to join. And yeah, it was a cool build. Classic Empire stuff. Nothing too out of the ordinary. The Luminark is a bit of a niche kind of tech, but yeah, didn't do bad. The Blood Reapers going down was a rough one for Hadri's for sure. And yeah, the Death's Head also was a cool experiment by Hadri's, but it didn't seem to work out too well. All right, so next up we have, let's do the Arbiter's Ground, which is another one of our new maps here. GG, Weird and I, Outer Region, seldom lag. Yeah, it's all good, Hadri's, don't stress it. No worries, man, no worries. All right, so anybody's welcome to join. The spot should be opening up here in a second. Nothing personal, Hadri's, just making room here, brother. And let's go ahead and see who's going to join next and battle Outer Region, our current King of the Hill. You were assuming you had a weapon. Fair play, fair play. All right, we got Icarus. So let's roll for the players here. No repeats from the previous game. Okay, so what's it going to be? I turned off the jump scare, so you guys should be relatively safe. Uno, dos, tres, and here it comes. Okay, so we have Slaanesh for player 1, and for our opponent, or his opponent, who's going to be player 2. Let me see what we got here. Slaanesh versus Yoga Nurgle. Interesting. Okay, so the players have the opportunity to do a reroll. So let me message them. So player 1 is going to be Slaanesh. Okay, so sending the factions to the players. Would you guys rather that I do it so we can't, like, it's a different faction every time? Let me know. I always end up switching it to that anyways, I feel. All right, so then we have, who's going to be the pick here? It was Nurgle, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so just confirming any rerolls first. Yeah, the Demon Lord didn't do bad. I mean, I always felt Demons of Chaos were definitely disadvantaged versus the Empire. Empire has like a lot of good tools against the Demons of Chaos. Nurgle verse. All right. Which matchup do you think is the worst in the game? Ooh, that's a tough one. I don't know. I feel like Dwarves versus Skaven in land battle is pretty awful. But, yeah. So keeping. All right. So are we going to get rerolls? All right, great. So Outer Region has decided to keep. His Slaanesh opponent has decided to reroll. So we're going to do a reroll right now. Because I could just remove units from the, or remove factions from the selection tool as we get them on stream. All right, it's going to be Tzeentch. Nurgle versus Tzeentch. Okay. And the map is all set. And now we are on the Arbiter's Ground, another one of our new maps. Shout out to our map makers, keeping this old community rolling, which is great. Yeah, the worst matchup in the game. I mean, man, we do have the data, right? We could go look on Total Tavern and see. Let's actually, I don't have. Yeah, I gotta reset up some of my stream stuff. It got messed up. Yeah, we'll get it for next time. All right, so it's gonna be Tzeentch versus Nurgle. I'm curious about this one. Yeah, this should be fun. Should be quite a bit of fun. A little bit of DACA. This used to be a cursed matchup for Nurgle, but I think that Nurgle players have probably been able to kind of figure it out. Yes, one sec, guys. Alrighty, perfect. The worst matchup is the dreaded mirror match. Yeah, that's awful. That's awful. I'm trying to think of like a matchup that just feels impossible to win. It's hard to say. These days I don't play too many factions at a super high level. I mean, I play Empire, Warriors of Chaos at a high level, I would say. I could probably play most of the Chaos factions at a respectable level. Worst is Vampire Count Mirror 100%. Yeah, that one's pretty awful. That one's pretty awful for sure. Are you planning on playing the Realms of Ruin open beta this weekend? I am. Yeah, I am. I'll be doing streams probably over the course of the entire weekend, yeah. And then I'm going to be setting up a faction war after that. Got to get the old faction war back on the table. So that will be going down as well. Okay, how are we looking? Perfect. And Tzeentch, what would Tzeentch use here? I mean, honestly, most of the Tzeentchian lore choices are pretty good, except Village. I wouldn't go with Village. I mean, Village is actually okay in a couple situations, because he can function like a bit of a Sigvald pick, like a regenerating tank on objectives, but against Nurgle, ooh, Exalted Lord of Change, Heralds are good. Like, I think all that stuff's fine. Blue and Pink Fire are both pretty viable, right? You can use Blue Fire to just, snipe armor, characters, whatever. Hell yeah to both things. Yeah, it's going to be fun, so we'll give it a try. Coast vs. Warriors is pretty rough these days. Coast struggles against Harry the most. And really, I always thought that Coast was, I guess, I don't know how they would kill Harry effectively. I guess a Luther Harkin type character could maybe goon him. But it wouldn't be easy. Harry basically has the durability of a legendary lord. So but you're paying a premium for him. You're paying almost 2,000 gold. Like, he's more expensive than Sigvald. Do you agree with Dov that Kugath needs to be nerfed? You see, here's the thing. Dov covers land battle and I do Dom, so it's like, it's in land battle, Kugath might be overpowered for sure. But in domination, he's not. So the problem is, if you nerf Kugath for the sake of land battle, which Creative Assembly usually doesn't host their events in, it's going to basically just make Nurgle way worse in this format, and vice versa, right? So it's a tricky one, honestly. I don't know. I don't think Kugath is a problem at all in domination. I think he's very strong, but like, you can usually outmaneuver him and kite him, and yeah. But yeah, he's very good. In land battle, I can see Kugath being very overpowered in some matchups. Like in matchups in which people don't have the adequate tools to kind of shoot him down from a distance and they have to fight him up close, yeah, I can see Kugath being unholy. Yeah, we're just getting started. We're just getting started. But yeah, and it's a different format, It kind of raises a tricky question, like which, obviously CA balances land battle for the sake of campaign, right? And in campaign, everything's kind of just overpowered anyways, right? Oh my god, what is this build? It's the triple Lord of Change. Oh my god, look at that. I don't think Kugath needs any changes though, personally, for domination mode. And I've played against Kugath in land battle like stuff. I played against some high level land battle players and have played against Kugath, but it was as the Empire, so I didn't really have too many issues with it. So yeah. The bird is the word, yeah. So check this out. This is Icarus coming in with Sartorial. Wait, is this Sartorial, the Ever Watcher? Oh, it's the OG Warp Chicken, baby. He's back on the menu. Searing Doom and Final Transmutation. We do also have a Lord of Change here and a Lord, the Golden Griffin of Theurgy here. Wow, that is a bird goon squad if I've ever seen one. Now, on the ground here, we have the Chaos Warriors with Halberds and a couple blues. Halberds, obviously, just to fight enemy warriors and toads if they have to. And yes. Is that legal? Well, welcome to... You see, the thing in domination mode, there's the only restrictions usually that are in place on units are not because of like... In land battle, different rule sets will limit things like nets and heals and summons, but in Dom, it doesn't really matter, those things, as much. So you can usually do whatever you want that within the unit caps limit. The only thing that's limited are units that are egregiously bugged or broken, like pump wagons and like Grail Knights and things like that. It's usually the only time rules will come into play. So for old Outer Regions forces, it's going to be Nurglings. You know, Nurglings, they like to party. Kugath rolling up. He's got the Rancid Visitations, and it is going to be double Exalted Hero of Nurgle. Now, these guys are pretty nasty fighters. They can definitely go fisticuffs with one of the big chickens if they need to, if the chickens land on the ground. But I'm really curious what Icarus is going to do in terms of trying to snipe Outer Regions forces. And it's going to be very, very interesting. Chaos Warriors with shields, a good call. Moving on to the low ground objective, and Kugath and company going to move up to the high ground. Nurgle looks like they're pressing all the points, actually. And here comes the first... Oh, look at that! Oh no, that feels so bad! Oh man, sometimes if you cast spells too close to the terrain, that can happen. Oh, and Nurgle threw a bomb right up at the Golden Griffin, hit him right in the face. Are they going to try and snipe Kugath here? So that pink fire got caught on this terrain piece and unfortunately kind of fizzled out. That happens sometimes. It like bounces back and forth on the terrain and just doesn't go anywhere. But yeah, that's pretty mean. So Chaos Warriors heading over to objective number 3, and it looks like we are going to get the Chaos Warriors of Tzeentch and Blues heading down to contest that with the triple bird squad, and most likely that's what's going to happen. We're going to be seeing, Tzeentch bouncing back and forth between objectives, and this is what I'm kind of saying about Kugath. Yeah, he's a monster if you have to fight him. So in like land battle, let's say you're playing, I don't know, like I guess Beastmen have like Ungor Raiders, but you're playing Khorne, for example, and the Nurgle can just sit in its box and just Mortis Engine you, and you'll just like basically just suffering, right? But in this situation, you can just ignore Kugath and you can go make the fighting happen on other points. And now Kugath is still a variable. He's controlling ground and is very, very disruptive. But yeah, it's not quite as much. Not quite as much indeed. So here are the Exalted Heroes of Nurgle hanging out, and there's going to be a little bit of Griffin magic. So the Golden Griffin of Theurgy is going to be popping its Golden Hounds of Gehenna and tickling some of those Chaos Warriors of Nurgle. But now the objective's going to be opening up. Nurgle actually making a bit of a play for the back objective as well. So we see Marauders and Forsaken coming out. And, they should be able to do some good work for sure. Here they come. Marauders moving up and Forsaken moving up. I love the Nurgle aesthetic, man. Oh, it looks so cool. The Dirty Boys. But they get the point. And, they're going to have the capture weight advantage for now, as the Blues are just kind of sitting on the edge of the point. So we'll keep an eye on that one. But it looks like Tzeentch is going to be committing very heavily to this blob. And I wonder if Kugath is coming down here. No, it looks like Kugath is just sitting on his toilet seat and throwing his bombardments from the middle objective, which certainly isn't a bad idea. I mean, at least he's able to provide some good value to the battle despite not being able to be there in person. His thoughts and prayers are with this low ground battle here. So Chaos Warriors of Nurgle, they're hanging in there, and the two Chaos Boys just riding around on their horses, screening the birds out. Currently, it seems like Icarus is a little bit nervous to pull the trigger and engage with the big chickens, maybe not wanting to test the might of the Nurgle champions on the ground. Over here, we do have more Nurglings making their way down to the low ground. Forsaken chasing down some of the Blues right here, and Marauders versus Chaos Warrior Halberds. Obviously, the Halberds are going to just crush them in combat. Tzeentch Halberds are pretty awesome. The fact that they have those shields and, magic damage is pretty useful against any faction that has demonic units or, units that are weak to physical or magic anyways, right? So, fight is on. We get the weird spawn moving in. So, super weird stuff. They're going to be getting in. No Severed Claw, which is very weird. I would have liked to have seen some Severed Claw. And now the forces of Tzeentch do get their Flamers in. And the Flamers could do some massive damage against the Chaos Warriors if left unimpeded. And look at this. The Chicken Goon Squad making a very bold play. Actually going after Kugath Plaguefather. This feels like some dreaded ladder tactics right now. Some stuff that you'd run into just at like 3 a.m. on a Saturday night playing on the old ladder. Yeah, it's pretty great. But Kugath Plaguefather, this isn't his first rodeo. He's very happy to take this fight, in my opinion. He's going to be able to heal through this, and these chickens are basically just wasting their time. At which point, I think all 3 chickens should have been down here, maybe trying to overwhelm this position. But even still, I understand what Icarus is doing. He's making it so that the Nurgle player can't really have the Exalted Heroes and Kugath everywhere they need to. And nice Fury play. We do get some Furies coming in from Nurgle, so we called them out from the deeps. And the Furies do shut down the Flamers, which is going to be incredibly punishing. There definitely should have been some Tzeentchian units nearby that were there to protect them. And with those Flamers getting shut down, Nurgle's probably going to end up winning this point. I think the Chaos Warriors and their resiliency compared to the various Demon units down here, that's going to be a tricky pickle indeed. And we see a triple cap going down for Outer Region. And Outer Region is, he's very much like a connoisseur of chaos. Like if you've seen him, I believe he's in the top 5 players in the world right now. He is somebody who's very good at all the chaos factions. So you're going to be regularly seeing him in the grand finals of various tournaments, playing chaos of some sort, whether it be Nurgle or Khorne, Warriors of Chaos, whatever. He's very good at all of them. So Forsaken cutting through little popcorn bandits, and they were born and bred to do this. Forsaken do have over 50 weapon strength, and against light armor, that's going to be some big DPS. I think it's actually over 60. Yeah, 63, pretty respectable. And here are the Chaos Warriors with halberds holding pretty well. They have an ideal fight versus, you know, chaff units as well as these toads, but they might get dragged down because the Forsaken are probably going to turn on them in a second. So the Forsaken will just kind of loop around and jump on the back of those Chaos Warriors, and that is going to be it's going to be a problem. Number 3, we do see ye old Chaos Warriors grinding on the point. Doing pretty well. Middle point is being held by Nurgle. And the fact that Nurgle was able to kind of break open objective number 1 on the other side is pretty big for them. Though it looks like Tzeentch isn't hearing no bells. Tzeentch is calling in some troopers as well. We get Screamers. Screamers with a rear charge here could be pretty devastating on the back of the Toads. And Screamers also have good armor piercing too. So if they have to fight various warrior units, it's not the worst. And now some Forsaken are coming in. And it looks like the fight's going to continue over on this objective. But currently as it stands, Nurgle is just racking in the points. And Tzeentch has not been able to wrestle it from him. Granted, it looks like the chickens get in and get a nice final transmutation. And the heroes of Nurgle are kind of getting smashed up a little bit. So this could be a bit of a comeback here for Icarus, as he does get one of the Exalted Heroes off the battlefield. Perhaps the other one's going to be in some danger as well. Who would have thought the dreaded Sartorial, the Ever Chicken, would have made an appearance here today? Yeah, this is some wild stuff. If the stream is lagging for you, I recommend just rebooting it. I haven't seen any messages aside from you, so maybe it is. I'm not sure. Give it a good refresh, and let me know if there's any problems. Ledgeron, thank you for the 20. A little bit of lag. Interesting. Let me check on my end, guys. It doesn't look like we're dropping any frames. Oh, okay, I see a couple dropped frames. Okay, so there might have been a moment of lag on my end, guys. Yeah, just a little bit. Ledgeron, thank you, thank you. Dawn of War stream gonna happen soon? It will. It's gonna happen. The Forbidden stream, when it finally happens, the sun and stars are gonna die out and the worlds are gonna collapse. But thank you, Ledgeron, I really appreciate it. It will happen. But Sartorial, the Ever Chicken, and the 2 Lords of Change down here, bumping and grinding versus the Plague Toads. I'm probably going to be able to take them out pretty quickly. Well played by Outer Region, who's able to get these Exalted Heroes back online. So the Exalted Heroes going to be heading back to the middle to embrace Big Papa Nurgle and get some of that sweet healing. Nurgle still managing to hold on to the points by just parking units on the far side. Very, very high level domination tactics. Basically, you know, even if you can't win fights, you can just kind of park things on the corners and delay. And every moment you can delay obviously can make a difference if it's like a really, really close game, right? So Tzeentch going to be wrestling for this low ground point, and it looks like Tzeentch finally has been able to get its clutches on objective number 1 down here. So well played. Icarus does get on the board here. I wasn't sure if it was going to be a shutout. You know, that would be pretty hard to do. Nurgle is not the most mobile faction, so shutting somebody out across a pretty big map with 3 objectives is going to be a very, very tricky one. But looking at the value is pretty close, if anything. Probably pretty damn even, considering shield regeneration and Nurgle healing. I would say both those bad boys are probably in good shape, but the Forsaken of Tzeentch and the Halberds should be able to finish off those Forsaken, and now they need to find a way to win this fight here, right? Nurgle just hanging on to objective number 2, enjoying their best life here. Throwing his old bombardments downtown, and yeah, obviously Nurgle could win on just 1 objective right now. So they could just Helm's Deep down, but I think what's going to happen is Nurgle's going to just kind of fight, you know, passively for objective number 3, not going to be committing too much, maybe healing up the Exalted characters. But that Tzeentch Bird Goon Squad is actually pretty tough to deal with. Even if you get, you know, let's say 1,000 damage on one, it can simply pull back and regenerate its shields to an infinite extent. There's no healing cap on shield regeneration, which is why Tzeentch can be pretty toxic in land battle. I don't know if you guys remember one of the last faction wars we had. It was, oh god, it was not the last one, but the one before it. That was won by Void Laws. God, that was the most awful shit ever. With the Tzeentch shield abuse. Oh god, it was just nightmare fuel. Yeah, but you know, Tzeentch and Dom is a little bit more reined in because of the time limit on the game, so it's not quite as bad. Final transmutation going down there, not a bad cast. The chickens dropping the base on these Chaos Warriors. The 2 Exalted Heroes and the Toads are going to be sitting on the edge of the point. And one of the issues with the Tzeentch build is a lot of their power, a lot of the money that they've spent is invested in these flying characters that don't have any cap weight. Yes, they can goon things off the objectives, but overall they're going to be struggling to capture objectives. They can't really capture the objectives at all, right? Nurgling's on the way up, and Kugath, like, nobody's going to be messing with Kugath. I really like the discipline of our Kugath enjoyer here. The fact that he's just sitting and throwing his little toilet seat bombardments and just, you know, because it's very easy to get caught out in the open with Kugath, and then he doesn't really provide you much on the objectives. But here, he's basically serving as a giant, chunky deterrent, right, to keeping the Tzeentch forces from moving to that point. The Exalted Hero is going to maybe pull back. So far, Nurgle just hanging in there. We get a couple Nurglings coming from reinforcements. This would take a lot from Icarus for Icarus to win this. I can see Icarus getting objective number 3 here in a minute, like perhaps finding a way to grab that. Really nice engagement here by our Tzeentch player, using the Screamers to jump on and intercept the Toads. Screamers are basically a hard counter against Plague Toads. Anti-large and also magic damage is going to be doing a ton of damage against them. And we get the Exalted Boys coming in on their lumbering Nurgle steeds. Big damage, but the chickens coming in to make the difference, and the Nurgle characters are going to retreat. But will the Nurglings get to the point on time? That's going to be pretty big. But yeah, this is obviously a triple cap situation, and good luck getting old Kugath off that middle point. It's not going to be easy. So it looks like the Nurglings opt to not dive onto the point. Rather, they're going to be retreating towards the middle of the map, so they're going to be trying to hunker down on objective number 2 here. And Tzeentch does actually have a lot of time. I mean, could we see Tzeentch get this? I don't know. It's going to be tricky. I think the 2 Exalted characters will probably make it back. Objective number 3 is going to be going to the Changer of Ways. And suddenly, you know, it didn't look like a lot of time, but I mean, there is a little bit of room to work with. Uh-oh. The Nurglings are making a dash for the point, and the Forsaken trying to screen him right here. Other Nurglings maybe trying to get on the point as well, but it looks like they're not. Oh my God. A couple of the Popcorn Bandits made it onto the point. Oh man, every little tiny play like this just makes the world of difference. And will the Popcorn Bandits make it onto the point? They do. Oh, that's so annoying. He was so close to getting the point. And now these little Popcorn Bandits are able to make it on. Some Chaos Warriors are coming back from route. They're going to be jumping on objective number 3 as well. And just the ultimate trolling is going down. Outer Region is probably one of the best objective players I found in all of Domination Mode. He's really, really good at playing the points. And here he manages to get the little Nurglings on there. And yeah, they're just running away from the Forsaken, being as disruptive as possible. And you know, that pretty much is going to seal the deal in the game. Because it's like, if Tzeentch had gotten this cap quicker, then maybe he just lost so much time on that point. He just lost so much time. And also down on the other side, during all that action, looks like some Forsaken and Furies were able to pull over here and get this one back. So yeah, that's going to seal the deal. Even if Tzeentch finds a way to wrestle the middle, they pulled some units from objective number 1 to get objective number 2, and then Nurgle came in with the surprise speed. And yeah, those Forsaken were able to get there. Nurglings coming to reinforce. I don't see any way that Tzeentch is going to be able to win this. And Kugath is just such a big chungus. He is just coming straight out of Walmart and not letting any of these guys escape. The Mortis Engine's going to be draining him down, and the birds just can't deal with him. He's very, very tough. So you can see how somebody in chat asks, this kind of illustrates his strengths, right? In land battle, you know, nobody wants to fight him, but in Dom they don't have to. But imagine if these 3 birds had to fight him all game, right? How long it could potentially take. Kugath Plaguefather getting charged by Sartorial, the Ever Chicken, currently sitting at 1800 value, pretty respectable. We get some Chaos Knights of Tzeentch coming in. Chaos Knights of Tzeentch, I think, are a great choice. They counter Toads super hard with their magic damage. And they're also very good at clearing out Marauders and Nurglings and various demonic units and different things like that. So Chaos Knight's heading on up, but that's going to be GG. There's no way. I mean, maybe he's going to wrestle one somehow. We got the Knights of Immolation being called in too. I think Knights of Immolation are like a sleeper good unit. Their bombardment is pretty impactful, and they can be very, very hard to deal with for sure. As the Tzeentch Goon Squad moves in, it tries to go after Big Kugath, but yeah, he's going to be very tough to kill. And he also has the support of the Exalted Heroes of Nurgle on the ground, who are going to be very, very disruptive. And the Chaos Knights getting a nice charge there. Here they come. Chaos Knights of Tzeentch are moving, and grooving. They do butcher through some of the Nurglings, but ladies, 50 seconds left in a minute. No, actually 30 seconds, sorry, until the game's over. And there's just no way it's going to go down. Isn't that weird? We saw the Ever Chicken. Interested to see the value on those birds after the fight. Yeah, you got it, man. We'll take a look. It probably wasn't bad. Like, they're all full health and very disruptive. And if this was a land battle, I think eventually the Tzeentch player could win, because he could just abuse the shield regeneration and cycle charge to his heart's content. I mean, unless they're playing in a tournament of land battles, which is different. Obviously, they have some tournaments. There's so many different rule sets now. But yeah, cycle charging obviously is very, very strong with the shield regeneration. The Golden Griffin only 800 value, man. Not super strong. Not super strong. Forsaken moving in. Looks like the objective's going to be potentially flipping here in a second, but it wasn't enough. And Kugath is just cackling on his throne as the lands are corrupted by the Plague God. GG. Yeah, it's actually me lagging a little bit now. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I don't know what the hell's going on, but it is what it is. Oh, that wasn't Hadries. I forgot to update the nameplate. That was Icarus. Sorry, Hadries. It wasn't you. It wasn't you. All right, so Outer Region's going to go up to 3 right now, and the score to beat is going to go up to 3 as well. Truly. The Ever Chicken has spoken. Oh, we got F-Pod in here. So let's see some other new maps. We have Eastern Isle Colony. I know there's some other new ones that have been added. Yeah, we have this one, which is pretty massive. We could do that one. Yeah, this is the Chaos Dwarf one. Or we could do, I think the other one is, let me look here. Imperial Road is new-ish. We could do Imperial Road. Yeah, see that one. We'll do the Chaos Dwarf one after that. Any plans to visit? You know, I've always wanted to visit Italy for sure. Yeah, and speaking of, yeah, Poland someday maybe. Not sure. Well played indeed. All right, so let's fix the nameplates here. F-Pod is going to be the challenger in this game. And let's roll for the factions. All right. Yeah, the triple chicken was interesting. It was a cool take. I can see that like the triple chicken could probably really overwhelm a lower level player, but like somebody like Outer Region is going to be able to handle it. But I think a lot of low level players would get overwhelmed. All right, so we got Norska for player 1 versus. Let's see what we got here. Norska versus Ogres? Nurgle. Okay, so I'm going to reroll Nurgle because we had them in the previous game. No repeats of the previous match. Yeah, Nurgle's not doing bad. Warriors of Chaos. All right. So what was the first one I said? Norska versus Warriors of Chaos. It's been straight up like Chaos Bowl today. All right. So player 1 is going to be Norska. And they can do rerolls if they want to. Okay. And then Outer Region is going to be... Outer Region's getting like all of his main factions right now. He's probably super stoked. He's like, hey, yes, good, Anakin, good. Chaos Civil War. What hero unit? Best pairs? Best in Paris is a goon squad? Oh man, you'd have to give me more specifics than that. Yeah. Okay. All right, so we're re-rolling for our Norskin player. Let's see what he gets. So Warriors of Chaos are going to stay. And who is it going to be? We've had a little bit of Order Tide. The Ogre Kingdoms. All right. And you got the Ogres, which honestly have a pretty similar banner to Norska, it would appear. He says, there we go. All right, so it's going to be Warriors of Chaos versus Ogre Kingdoms. It's a fun matchup, actually. Severed Claws, really difficult. Aspiring Champions are coming in droves, I can assure you. They're quite good in this matchup. Yeah, they don't mess around. They are not messing around. Franz and Double Wizard, Amber Wizard on Griffins. Hey, it's not the best goon squad. It's not bad, though. It's very expensive. Yeah. It is the Ogres, me lord. Not that I know what I'm doing, but seems more fun, for sure. There we are. All right. And I think we're all squared away. I think we are all squared away. Outer Region. Could we see a cool lord? Could we see Archeon, the Ever-Chosen? Archeon, not a bad choice. He's a pretty good fighter, you know. You could also give Trolls ITP, which is useful with his crown. Burning Head to clear out Noblar pits, you know, like just mobs of Noblar Trappers. Noblar Trappers are so stupidly overpowered. Oh my god, I hate Noblar Trappers. That's probably one of my most hated units in the game right now. The fact that they got bonus versus infantry is so dumb. I don't know. They should straight up crush like so many other infantry now. They're supposed to be like just these ogres like it just doesn't. I could go on a rant about it. The Blood Reaper Goon Squad versus Nurgle Exalted. Oh, well, Nurgle Exalted Heroes are better than Blood Reapers. Nurgle Exalted Heroes are very good. They're heavily armored. They have huge armor piercing themselves. They have a good mount option. They have poison. Yeah. Blood Reapers have their place in a couple of matchups. Like I like Blood Reapers against Grand Cathay, like mixing them in on the ground just to grind through Jades and be a hard target. But yeah. I want to try a General of the Empire and 2 Ambers on Griffins. One of these. That sounds like kind of a cool tech. The problem is the Griffin characters aren't that tanky. So they would potentially die really quick, and then you don't have any healing for them. Like if the Empire had like a legendary mage character, like an archmage of some sort of life, then they could do more weird stuff like that. But yeah, Nobblar Trappers are like the most annoying shit. They're just awful. All right, let's check it out. Okay, perfect. Yeah, Nobblars are pretty nasty. Like I remember I was in the Discord with CA, and I asked them about that. I was like, why did Nobblar Trappers get bonus versus infantry? They're like, well, the general school of thought is that, you know, units with dual wielding weapons should have bonus versus infantry. And then you like look at the poor Beastman Goreherd just sitting there just crying and crying in its filthy beast hovel in the corner. Yeah. I mean, that's a unit that deserves a bonus versus infantry. Like a Goreherd with shield, a Goreherd with dual wieldings, that deserves it. Not like Nobblar Trappers. No, come on, come on. Who are you messing with? So, what will he bring here against Warriors of Chaos? Could we see some like old school Stonehorn action? I love that that's old school now. It's almost 2 years, right? The you know, the Stonehorn characters, that could be kind of cool. We'll have to see, though. Oh, my God. It's the filth. It's the Max Nobblar Gold Chevron. Yeah. Right as we talk about it, right? You can see Nobblar Trappers, like, literally people just putting gold chevrons on them. Oh, no. Should Slayers not have bonus for infantry? Dual weapon? I know. Yeah, I think the Empire will get some legendary wizards. You know, it's kind of funny. The thing about the Beastmen, like, having a faction that constantly wishes born to suffer, I think it's kind of funny. If this game was like, if we were getting sponsored by Sega and Microsoft in big esports tournaments, I would be more upset about imbalances, you know, but considering like we're like the Beastmen of esports, you know what I'm saying? It kind of just like, it just, we're like the Beastmen are like the perfect metaphor for Total War competitive, you know? Yeah, it's great. We try our best, baby. We try our best. All right. So FPOD coming in with Nobblars. And yeah, obviously Nobblars are there to just take a beating. They have 9,000 HP, and yeah, that's what they do. In the secondary row, we have old Nobblar Trappers, and they have the gold chevrons, so they're going to be incredibly good fighters. And they do also have, oh man, the water. He's got the ones that regenerate in the water. The Boglars of the Mad Marshes. That's so funny. It's pretty hilarious. So a couple dual-wielding bulls, Slaughtermaster of the Great Maw in the back, Sky Striders up on the high ground, and did my game crash? Looks like the game might have crashed. Oh, no, it's trying. Hold on. Come on, you can do it. Oh, cursed game crash here, I think. One sec, guys. Are we going to make it? Okay, we better just reboot that one. All right. Game crashed. Rehost it. Classic. Right as I say we're the Beastmen of Total War multiplayer. Just like the haggard game structure just falls apart and crashes. Yeah. But you know what keeps us going strong is how cool the setting is and how cool the armies and units, and it's all that. Like if you had this level of haggardness in another RTS game, it would not fly. Yeah, it would not fly. Dude, the Boglars, I know they got us. They took us down here. It shouldn't take long. All right, so let's go ahead and refresh that. Do this. And we're on the Imperial Road for the map. 1 and 1. Cool, so they'll rejoin in a second. The map is going to be the Imperial Road of Doom. Let's get it going. All right, so players are rejoining. They can pick their armies again. And we should be fine. Turin is the Torox of this Beastman community. Yeah, we try. We try. Beastmen also don't believe in the internet. Yeah, that's true, actually. That's true. Yeah, how are things going with Age of Empires 4, by the way? I know some of you guys, of course, follow the competitive stuff with that. I'd be curious to hear about that. I know it had EGC TV was putting in a ton of effort. A lot of money, man. It's crazy. I think obviously the thing with those platforms is Microsoft really can. I don't know if Microsoft contributes to them, but they do with a lot of people there. Man, I've often had like power fantasies about Sega putting forward some serious money for like competitive for this event, but with how little that CA supports multiplayer and all the haggard bugs and shit, it would almost be embarrassing, you know, to have that many eyes on you and then just like have like just like a skull, like a skullcracker just solo someone's entire army in a high stakes event, you know? It's like, all right, like, don't worry, we'll fix it in the next patch, which is like 6 months later, you know? It's like, oh, I'm too weak, please. I am too weak. Let me compete. Anybody's welcome to join. It's first come, first serve. So after this game's over, you're welcome to join. You just need to have the Total Tavern map pack. AoE 2 is outperforming Age of Empires 4. I'm not surprised to hear that. I mean, Age of Empires 2 is a timeless classic. It's and it's got like just years of tradition and history. It's like it's not, that shouldn't be like a dig on Age of Empires 4 per se. Too big of one, because that game is just like a truly iconic masterpiece. It would take Sega and G. Yeah, honestly, like I think like Total War Warhammer has like insane potential for like a multiplayer, like a really solid multiplayer. You know, situation. But yeah, it gets very minimal effort from them. So thankfully, it's still very good. It's still a lot of fun. All right, guys, taking a look here at the forces of Outer Region. Our mighty Chaos Champion, he's going to be coming in with Marauders. It looks like Aspiring Champions, which are crazy good. So normally spells you would use to punish infantry, maybe like Vortexes, you know, that type of stuff. It doesn't really do much against Aspiring Champions because of the way their model count and HP works. So they're very, very tough to get rid of. On top of that, good melee defense and 120 armor. We just plop them on an objective. They have 5 cap weight, and they don't mess around. On top of that, we got Chaos Warriors with Halberds. Obviously very standard. Metal Casters going to be using Searing Doom and the Final Transmutation. And that would appear to be it for the forces of the Dark Gods. All right, interesting stuff. Now, looking over here at F-Pod, we saw F-Pod's build before we had that unceremonious crash before. Nobblar Trappers with gold chevrons. Basic Ogre Bulls and Sky Striders up in the high ground. Just, you know, Ogre good stuff, basically. And what you're going to be seeing from here is probably just Ogre Bull spam. But also, you know, who's quite good here is the old Iron Guts. Iron Guts are pretty damn amazing against Chaos. They have anti-infantry, armor piercing, and they're pretty armored themselves, so they can hang against Marauders and chaff units and different things like that. Yeah, if Kislev gets like a really good Legendary Lord in the upcoming DLC and gets like even if just 1 or 2 of their units are very viably competitive, that they get, they're going to be a very strong faction. I've always said this about Kislev. Kislev has very strong roots. Their faction mechanic and their stats, like their units, they have a lot of good stuff. They have some of the best light cavalry in the game, really good shot cavalry, solid infantry. Not the best lords of magic, but honestly, yeah, Kislev could be very, very strong. I would honestly put my marbles on them being stronger than Grand Cathay. But yeah, just a bit of a guess right now. So up in the middle, Sigvald takes his throne, and the Ogre Kingdom's going to be calling in some Leadbelchers, so they're going to be getting some DACA. I love me some Leadbelcher action. I think Leadbelchers are one of the coolest looking units in the game. So here they come, getting some big shots downtown. Somebody in chat saying Kislev are top 5 right now. Are you talking about Land Battle or Dawn? Very, very different game modes. Granted, there is some overlap, but for the most part, they're very different. So what are the Leadbelchers shooting? Are they shooting at Sigvald? It looks like the Leadbelchers are actually shooting at Prince Sigvald. Yeah, he gets blasted, but I mean, it's not going to be that much damage against him. He's going to take it like a champ. And the Slaughtermaster of the Great Maw looks like it's going to be going up to do battle with Prince Sigvald, which is a bold strategy, Cotton. Sigvald will for sure win that fight. He's a duelist character, and the Slaughtermaster doesn't really have the stats to go fisticuffs with him. Nonetheless, Nobblar Trappers throwing their Ninja Stars in. Sigvald does get some nice contact here, and the Warriors of Chaos going to be moving up. Will Outer Region pull a dreaded Kark play and you know, abandon the objectives before he captures them? That would be the ultimate scheme right there. So this point's going to get captured slowly. The back point is being captured as well. Hellstriders of Slaanesh coming in, the anti-large variant, so it's cool to see them being used a little bit still. And Sigvald and the Halberds have now collided with the front line. Nacho Bear, thank you for becoming a member. Welcome to the Dukes of Haggard, my friend. Greatly appreciate you, and yeah, welcome. Aspiring Champions battling it out with Nobblar Trappers. The Nobblar Trappers, though, they're putting up a bit of a decent fight against these guys. You can see the Aspiring Champions taking a little bit of HP damage right there. But now the Sky Strider's going to move in, and they are going to plow through some of these Halberds. So the Halberds were tied down by Nobblars, and that's basically Ogre Kingdoms in a nutshell. If you guys want to play Ogres, you just, you know, tie opponents' anti-large down and then charge them with your big scary Ogres. And usually it's going to go pretty well for you. I mean, look how badly these Chaos Warrior Halberds got it. They just got absolutely smashed. Their X gave it to them pretty damn hard. So, man, oh no, Outer Region is pulling a Kark. He's not capturing the back objective. He has such a hard-on to kill his opponent that he's not getting the points lead, which honestly could come back to bite him pretty hard as we go later into the game here. Looks like anti-large cavalry being called in here, and there is going to be a Final Transmutation cast. So the Final Transmutation coming in from the Chaos Sorcerer of Metal is going to be nailing the Sky Striders here, also nailing Saber Tusk packs, Very, very cost-effective stuff as the anti-large boys try and grind through the chaff, but the Nobblar trappers are proving to be very, very resilient. And yeah, it looks like he's pulled a Kark for now. He's not gotten his back objective, and now the Ogre Kingdoms might be able to get on there themselves and just get this objective from them. We'll see. So Hounds are on the point, and it looks like the Hellstriders and Slaanesh are on the point. They're going to be teaming up to take down these Ogres here, and this one should flip to Chaos right here. Okay, so the Warriors of Chaos finally got the objective. Now the fighting continues to grind on pretty much every front. So Marauders and Halberds here versus Nobblars. Aspiring Champions doing quite well. They're taking a beating from several units, and yeah, that's what they do well. Aspiring Champions don't tend to do a ton of damage in my experience, but I don't know why. You know, they hit pretty hard, but I guess it's a low model count. But yeah, they if they're good at one thing, it's really, really tanking and holding objectives, man. It's tough to stop them. So Manticore and company and the Severed Claw. Severed Claw is hands down the best unit on the Warriors of Chaos roster, in my opinion. It's incredibly tough to stop, and now the Severed Claw is going to be moving back towards the Lead Belchers to look to do a little bit of stuffing. Sky Striders, they are hunting down Marauder Horsemen here, trying to chase down some of the tools that can deal with them. Are these throwing axes? They're not. They're just javelins. So the javelins won't do a ton of damage here, but the Sky Striders, how would you best take them down for Warriors of Chaos? I mean, chaff units with maybe trolls on top of them, or Severed Claw, just basic halberds, of course, would be pretty effective. Looks like the Ogre is going to be trying to take a fight here on the middle of the objective. So Sky Striders committing to the fight, going after Chaos Warhounds. Chaos Sorcerer Metal is nearby, Halberds also nearby, Nobblars coming from all directions, and more Marauder Horsemen coming out from outer region. That's a nice critical mass, especially if you use the armor break on them. If you use the Plague of Rust, put them down to 60 armor, then all these javelins for sure would do a lot of damage. But I think it's wise to save your magic, because here you can see the horsemen still quite aren't able to get the good engagement they want. Sigvald heading back to the objective, which is smart. He's, you know, a fair amount of capture weight. Oh my god, Sigvald gets punted off the objective. Look at that. That's high-level domination tactics right there. F-Pod using the dreaded Ogre Ram, so he rams Sigvald off the point there. But nonetheless, Chaos is holding on to this one. And the Ogre Kingdoms pushing up on the back front at least. But Severed Claw are just such a distraction, man. They haven't lost a single model yet. And dude, these guys are almost as big as Ogres. It's pretty insane. But yeah, the Severed Claw of Tzeentch is just going to butcher these Ogre units all day. Like, I don't know if the Ogres really have anything they can effectively kill the Severed Claw with. If they're in open field, maybe shooting from Lead Belchers, probably your best bet is going to be tar pitting them with a, just Nobblar Trappers and getting that cheap bonus for his infantry to kind of drag them down. However, in the middle, we do see the Ogres getting a little bit of momentum. We do see the old Nobblars fighting off the Horsemen with the Slaughtermaster. Sigvald trying to make his way to the point, but the Warriors of Chaos looks like they're potentially in a situation where they're going to be losing this objective. They simply don't have any cap weight here, and the Ogres are coming to get you. Like, a lot of the Chaos units on the map are just not fighting on the objectives, right? Like, if you take a look around, which isn't a bad thing per se. I mean, I understand why he was trying to keep the Ogres from it originally, and they just are in their original spots. But Chaos Pocket here, we got units here. Severed Claw is basically just balls deep in the backfield. The Severed Claw should be in the middle right now. They want to just be like right on the middle, fighting on that point, and basically being impossible to remove. Somebody in chat asks, who would win in a fight, Severed Claw versus Sky Striders? Probably the Severed Claw. If you just had them sit and grind against one another, yeah, the Severed Claw would probably get the job done. So a couple of horsemen still doing their thing. Throwing javelins, kiting the Ogre army back. Iron Guts are fairly armored, and obviously Nobblar Trappers are quite numerous, so the javelin fire isn't going to be super excellent at getting rid of them. And is the Severed Claw going to make its way back? It looks like it's just kind of going back and forth between a couple chaff units on the backfield. This is definitely a big mistake by outer region. Pretty colossal mistake. If the Severed Claw had been on the middle objective, it probably would have never flipped in the first place. And now the Ogres are getting a little bit of momentum back. They're pushing the Warriors of Chaos back. You can see the entire battlefield here is starting to look a little bit red. While the Warriors of Chaos Horsemen try their best to scrap, but certainly are struggling a little bit against the prevalence of Saber Tusks and cheap Nobblar Trappers with their Ninja Stars. A little bit scary indeed. Some more Forsaken heading up. Forsaken, they're not a bad choice here. They themselves hit very hard against light armor, but against Iron Guts and Sky Striders, they're going to have a really, really bad time most likely. However, looks like there's already a unit of Forsaken here, grinding through their HP a little bit, and now it looks like there's going to be a countercharge as the Ogres sound the horn, coming to look for some of that rotten meat, that's for sure. I know the Ogres like to eat, but I honestly think even an Ogre probably wouldn't want to eat the Forsaken. Those dudes are pretty nasty, to say the least. Now looking around here, what do we got? Unsummons going down. Nice housekeeping from both players. So Uno Dos Tres, we got 3 units being unsummoned there. And the dreaded Severed Claw is now making its way back to the middle. You see, here's what I'm saying. This game is actually becoming really close. The value has been within 500 or 600 the entire time. Both sides have healing. And outer region does have a bit of a points lead, but not by much, right? Whereas like having that objective for an extra 30 seconds in the beginning could be the difference between winning and losing in a close game like this. We'll have to see if it comes to that, but it looks like Sigvald trying desperately to get this point back. Severed Claws making its way over. A couple horsemen trying to provide some cap weight, but they're going to be running out of steam here relatively soon. And the Ogres are swarming all over, man. These Saber Tusks have just been rampaging in the backfields, hunting down these horsemen. And yeah, they're out of control right now. Looks like Chaos is going to be calling in some Armored Trolls. If I'm not mistaken, Armored Trolls are the way to go in this matchup. You don't want to be bringing the basic variant Troll if you can bring the Armored one, simply because Ogre, aside from Sky Striders, Iron Guts, a couple characters and whatnot, like all the basic Ogre Bull units, like Saber Tusks and Ogre Bulls and Nobblars, lack armor piercing. So having the Chaos Troll armor really, really pays huge dividends. And they honestly bash the Iron Guts pretty effectively in combat. So now the Severed Claw is on the point. The question is, are they going to be able to kill enough to get this back? We see the Severed Claw embroiled in combat here. Prince Sigvald, other aspiring champions are here, and these Ogres are going to be taking massive, massive damage. And look at that, the Slaughtermaster actually gets caught up in the box here. Pretty unfortunate for him. He's very quick. Certainly shouldn't have been caught in that situation, but now there's going to be a Searing Doom coming down. Apparently Searing Doom does some okay damage against the Ogre units. It's not like amazing, but not bad. Good micro by FPod. FPod able to escape with the Slaughtermaster, which is pretty big. If the Ogres had lost the Slaughtermaster, they're not only losing a caster, but taking that leadership penalty on your army would be very unfortunate. And now in the backfield, we do see the Hellstriders of Slaanesh coming in, which is a good choice. Anti-large, so they'll counter these Saber Tusks, and they'll also be very good against like loose, overextending Ogre units in your backfield. Using their 100 speed to really chase things down, I think is going to be a pretty good call indeed. So Chaos Armored Trolls heading over, Sigvald and company, anchoring it down to the middle, and this is a knockdown, drag-out fight here, guys. But now we do see the Ogre Kingdoms getting the objectives back, and it could matter. It could matter not capturing that objective in the beginning, the dreaded Kark tactics. But, you know, he might be able to get away with it. We'll see. I think Chaos is going to start winning the grind. Like the Severed Claw plus Sigvald here fighting is just so nasty. Now Trolls, though, they're in a bit of a bad situation. Sky Striders are anti-large armor piercing, and if there was a counter to the armored Chaos Trolls, it would be the Sky Strider. So Sky Striders here, taking them to Pound Town. I mean, yes, the Trolls have a little bit of regeneration, but overall, not going to be a good fight for them as the big crushers get in there and start crushing some of the Trolls. Do the Trolls have any support? Looking around, another Troll on its way in, and here the Sky Striders, the Hellstriders, intercept the Saber Tusk packs up on the high ground, but they were pretty low, so I don't think they're going to be surviving that one. And the Armored Chaos Trolls actually anchored that one pretty damn good. It looks like, yeah, the Sky Striders are pretty damaged and didn't have all their models, I suppose. But yeah, they took that fight way better than I expected them to. So Nobblars here getting bashed, -1 leadership, so they're going to be folding. That Ogre capture weight is no joke. And look at this, on the back objective, we see a little bit of a cheeky Chaos attempt here, as we see some routing aspiring champions and some horsemen trying to get that back objective, but doesn't look like that one's going to be going through here. And Hellstriders of Slaanesh still doing their thing. You know, some people said they were a useless unit, but honestly, they cleared out some back pressure and are pretty much clearing out another full health Saber Tusk here with very minimal support. I still think that they're very solid and not like an auto take. I think that the Lash and Scourge ones are probably just objectively better in most situations, but against the Ogre Kingdoms, probably the anti-large variant is going to be still a preferable way to go, I would say. So down to the pits, we got the old Forsaken and Chaos Armored Trolls grinding it out. Ogres starting to lose a lot of models here, taking a lot of attrition. For Chaos, the thing that they really need to do is just get the points before they're in a triple cap situation, because triple capping Ogres, unless you're just so brutally ahead, is not going to be easy at all. And dude, this is why aspiring champions are so damn good, all right? They have 11 of 16 models, despite being at like 10%. Capture weight is based on models remaining, so these haggard beat aspiring champions have so much capture weight here, and it's one of the real big hidden gems of those bad boys. And honestly, they get pretty close to flipping that objective if FPod hadn't looked back there. Like, that could have been something that easily could have flown under the radar. And now they might actually get broken. They only got a little bit of HP, and the Saber Tusk packs will hit hard enough to probably finish them off. You also have some Nobblar Trappers making their way over there, and the Saber Tusk do get the job done. Aspiring Champion's going to be folded, but yeah, that's some good stuff right there. That's some good stuff indeed. You're saying that Forsaken or just like Lobster for the Ogres? It's a rare delicacy, eh? So looking at the point, I think Outer Region's maybe going to grind this one down. It's been a very scrappy back and forth game, but we do see Outer Region pulling a 2,000 value lead at this point, and both sides do have healing too. Obviously, we see the Slaughtermaster being heal capped, but the Chaos Armored Trolls and Sigvald have also been healing this entire time, so those guys get the job done. And I don't see the Ogres getting back in this game. I see Chaos getting the middle objective, having Severed Claw, these regenerating Trolls, and Ogres are just looking really beat up. The Sky Striders just got unsummoned. Mass unsummons going down from FPod. I think he's going to see the writing on the wall here soon, and he wasn't far enough ahead to just win on 1 point. So basically just going to be the dreaded Reaganomics here. So he's just using trickle-down units theory here to move these units in, and Chaos just seems to be trading favorably with Severed Claw and Sigvald being such a nice anchor. And the Hellstriders of Slaanesh with their anti-large and their mass, they're able to actually trap the Ogre Slaughtermaster who's doing some sort of a shuffle dance right there. But nonetheless, he's probably not going to get away unless he gets some Ogre support. And yep, once again, they didn't hear no damn bell, dude. Look at these. You got the aspiring champions. You got 5 models here, still providing a little bit of cap. which has got to be super annoying for the Ogres. And the Ogres are basically just desperation, throwing everything on the middle objective here, trying to get that one back. But yeah, with the Slaughtermaster getting butchered here and the Chaos just winning this grind. Iron Guts are badass, but they get countered hard by Armored Chaos Trolls. Armored Chaos Trolls give them the dirty really hard. I mean, they're basically the same thing, but the Trolls, I believe, hit harder and just have regeneration. Yeah, some of them are going to break, but they'll come back and heal. Looks like the Ogres do get a bit of a leadership route. Well, pretty impressive stuff. Severed Claw still fighting in the point, a little bit tar-pitted here. And yeah, never say never with the Ogres, I guess. Their ability to flip objectives is pretty uncanny, as they do get some very fast units there, some more Ogre Bulls. And wait a second, I was saying there was no way. And then I look here a couple seconds later. I guess that's just an Ogre thing, man. Like, Ogres, like, can be, yeah, they're losing out on value pretty considerably here, but their capture weight is just nuts. Like, with how fast it is and the mass and its ability to just bully on points, it's pretty insane. So Trolls and Horsemen on their way back. And the Ogre Kingdoms flip the objective back, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, man, the Manscore call-in is a great idea. Look at this. Look at that. That is insane. So Armored Chaos Trolls are going to be coming back, and they better get their butts back in there quickly. Sigvald and the Severed Claw obviously would win this grind eventually, but there's not a whole lot of time to work with, ladies and gentlemen. There's not a whole lot of time. The Chaos Feral Manscore here probably going to get a Terror Route in a couple units. Going for the Goon on the Ogre Lord is a very smart idea, because if he dies or runs off the battlefield, it's going to be a big leadership penalty. And now the Armored Trolls are on their way in, and this is absolutely insane. This is absolutely insane. So how are we looking? Marauder Horsemen? Yeah, Nobblar Trappers are just gross, too. The fact that they just, like, bash through whatever ends up fighting them. They're so crazy. And Severed Claw, trapped up in Nobblars. Not going to be able to peel things super quickly. And you know what? I think the Ogres might find a way to get this. That's insane. That's absolutely insane. What is Outer Region going to be saving up for here? He's going to have to get an objective soon. He's getting very... Outer Region's very, very close to winning on one cap here. Like, very close. So we're going to find out here relatively soon. So Forsaken coming, it's a good choice. They're fast, they're furious, they can cut through Nobblars pretty quickly. And we do see the Slaughtermaster of the Great Maw going down here. The Massacre. Oh, was that the Massacre? Yeah, might have been. So the Lord here, 952 HP, still hanging in there. He didn't hear no bell. He's hungry. The Great Maw certainly rewards its servants here, as he's surviving that Manticore attack with pretty solid consistency. Now, this is a really good play by FPod. He's running interference. He's basically using the Saber Tusk packs to keep things from getting to the objective. So currently, as it stands, man, Outer Region would have to cap really, really soon. Like, really soon for him to not have to get a triple cap. Because I think he's going to be in a triple cap situation. And I wonder if Outer Region's going to start sending units to Objective 1. He might want to start sending some Marauders, some basic chaff units over here. Somehow it's Forsaken. They got a little bit sidetracked chasing down these Saber Tusks here. And this point's going to be flipping here. Maybe. I don't know. The Trolls are back. Got a couple Horsemen parked on the back objective. Chaos does have the capture weight advantage. More Saber Tusks are making their way over. Armored Chaos Trolls coming back from the rally. Sigvald trying his best to get this one. Severed Claw fighting at the point. But the Ogres are also starting to trade better too. They're closing the value gap a little bit. Those Forsaken chasing those Saber Tusks to the back of the map was a pretty colossal misplay for sure. But Chaos appears to get a mass route. It looks like the Ogres going to break off the point. But are they going to have enough time to get to the back objective, dude? They better start planning for that, because they are. I think they do need a triple cap right now to win this. The Ogre Kingdoms are just a little bit too close to winning. So it's flipping in a couple seconds. Sigvald and Severed Claw holding it down. Forsaken hustling. Hellstriders to Slaanesh heading to the back point, which is a very, very good play. You're going to need the capture weight there very quickly. And the Warriors of Chaos flip the point. They flip it, but now, ladies and gentlemen, FPod is just going to Helm's Deep, and Ogres are so tough to get objectives from. They're very, very tough. Like I said, especially if it's a home field objective like this with a close spawn point, dude, that's going to be tough. So Sigvald's hustling. There's a little bit of time left to work. Forsaken chasing down Saber Tusks on the back of the map. And Ogre's still even pressuring the middle objective a little bit. Hellstriders have made it over with Sigvald. It's going to be some decent sustained fighting power, but there's a full health unit of Nobblars here too. Trolls and company just trying bitterly to fight for that one. Marauder Horseman coming up. Dude, this is going to be close. Nobblar Trappers are here. In response, I counter your objective. I know, man. This is going to be really, really scrappy. So Outer Region's going to be hustling up here with the Chaos Armored Trolls, Marauder Horseman, Manticores. The Terror Route's a big variable. The fact that the Ogres lost their Lord, oh my god, this is so troll. Iron Guts and Ogre Bull dual weapons are blitzing the back objective, and Chaos has no defenses back there whatsoever. Like, nothing. Looks like there's some Forsaken heading over to try and intercept that, but Chaos has got, like, in such a desperate situation where they have to press all the points. Hounds are coming up. Hellstriders getting wrecked by the Nobblar Ninja Stars. Manticores and Trolls heading this point. This is a do-or-die moment here. He really needs to make sure he doesn't lose this back point. Looks like Forsaken turning around, start butchering Nobblars. And does Chaos have anything on this back point? They're not summoning anything, guys. They're not summoning anything. The Forsaken need to get their stat. They need to just get up there with the Severed Claw and hold that down. They're going to be hustling right now. And this objective looks like it's flipping as well. So Chaos gets a mass route here, ladies and gentlemen. They get a mass route. And the Ogres just running. Obviously, with their Lord being dead, that's going to be very problematic. Forsaken and Hellstriders are coming here. He's got to get these Forsaken up at the point. The Forsaken make it to the point. Severed Claws needs the Force Path. Looks like Hellstriders to Slaanesh being a huge boon right now. A huge boon. As he does get the home objective right there. So, the Ogres do lose the home objective. Outer Region gets the Hellstriders on the point. They're probably going to clear off these Ogres. But do they have the cap weight? Severed Claw needs to get up on the point. They're going to provide 4 capture weight at this point. And look at that. Chaos barely stabilizes it by getting the Severed Claw back. Just barely getting back onto the point. Absolute knockdown, drag-out fight. This point does not look like it's going anywhere. It looks like the Warriors of Chaos have got this one in the back pocket. So you do see the Armored Trolls setting on Objective 2. And pretty much all in from the Ogres. Knowing that if they can get an objective and just hold it for a little bit of time, it might be enough. But I don't think so. You know, I've been wrong before. I was certainly wrong earlier with my assessment of this game being over soon. But yeah, man, the Ogres, they're so scrappy. They're so scrappy, and FPOD is playing a great game too. So Massacre is active, and the objective is flipping again. Oh my god, it's flipping again. Oh my god, no way. Armored Trolls are running, and we do see some Marauders coming up for Chaos to get there. But the Hellstriders are broken. Forsaken are pretty much the only capture weight here. I think he has enough to win right now on 2. I think that he's okay. And he passes him in points, but the Ogres do flip the objective. Holy shit. They flip it. And now Chaos is going to win on 2, though. So it looks like Outer Region has got enough. He just needs to make sure he doesn't blunder the middle objective somehow. He just holds on to this. The Ogres are going to hold on to this objective for a period of time. Looks like he's going to be hustling over to the middle right here. Man, FPOD playing like a man possessed here today as well. Our Trappers scrapping. Objective number 3 owned by the Ogre Kingdoms, but not enough. And the Warhost of the Apocalypse gets it. Chaos gets the job done. Man, what a scrappy match. Yeah, Massacre is really good. Giving your army just stopping power and terror out in a late game situation, dude. That game was sweaty, and I loved it. Outer Region, proving why he's the king of the hill today, man. Certainly playing very, very well. All right, GG, well played. Looking at value, 3,000 value Sigvald. Sigvald rarely gets that much value. That's nuts. 2,800 on Severed. Aspiring Champs, very, very good. And yeah, obviously they did well. I love the Manticore tech. I think the Manticore tech was one of the big hidden gems. Like the Surprise Terror, yeah, that was really good. For the Ogre, Sky Striders got 2,100. King Bird, great match, thank you. Really appreciate you supporting for 8 months, my friend. Thank you to all the channel members and all of you guys who support the channel. Thank you, thank you. Lead Belchers, 1,200 value. Iron Guts, not bad. That was a great game. That was a great game. All are welcome to challenge the king. I gotta say, GG, well played to those guys for that game. That was a truly scrappy match. That was truly a scrappy match. We're getting some great battles today for sure. These have been fun. These have been fun indeed. This is nuts. Been waiting 1.5 speed since 30 minutes into the stream. Finally caught up. Amazing game. Yeah, that was a good game to join. By the way, anybody's welcome to join. You just have to have the Total Tavern map pack installed, and then you're good to go. So we will do the Tsar Rebellion map. Yes. This is the Chaos Dwarf map. Badger, thank you for the tenor. Really appreciate the support, my friend. We're gonna keep these good times rolling all day, all night, baby. Let's keep it up. That was a really good match. That was a really, really good match. Yeah, both players said GG's there. Dude, I thought FPOD was done for, man. Like in the mid game, and then suddenly just the whole Chaos Army was running. I guess it was the Massacre, and then he took it and scrapped, and I was like, God damn, man. Yeah, that was nuts. He's back. Lord Volturn Mort is back. Yeah, we are a little bit. Man, I had Nurgle's rot this last week though. Pretty bad. It was rough. It was rough. Still feeling it a little bit, but love to join if I weren't 4 a.m. in the morning. Yeah, that's true. If nobody joins in the next like 2 minutes, I'll join in and play and do battle. But yeah, all you have to do if you want to play is download the Total Tavern Tournament Map Pack, and then you can then you can get in here and play. That's the only mod you would need, nothing else. Make sure that you would need to make sure there's nothing else also. He used Massacre on the Iron Guts, is that what it was? It's pretty metal. Pretty metal stuff indeed. All right, so let me get the Army Select tool back up here. Let me know if you're trying to join, by the way, too, and you're having any issues. It could be that it's like a lobby thing. Sometimes lobbies after a crash can be a little bit funky, so do let me know. How's life treating you guys? What games are you all excited for? Is there any cool RTS games coming up? We're going to be covering the Age of Sigmar one this weekend. It's only 2 factions though. You have the Space Marines, and then you have the what's it called? You have the Cruel Boys. And by Space Marines I mean Stormcast. So you have Stormcast, and then you have the Cruel Boys. From what I saw, they had an event for it already. Lionheart put up a video which looked pretty cool. I was watching his video. It looks like the Cruel Boys or excuse me, the Stormcast kind of displayed like the Protoss, like very low model count, very elite. Is Vampire Coast a solid faction? I don't know. Like I feel like they have a lot of solid things, but they just have not been doing well at all. All right, so we're rolling. We're rolling. What's it gonna be, man? And we almost had Skaven there. I got excited. I was on him. Bob Bretonia. Do we just ban Bretonia? Yeah, let's just ban Bretonia. It's not fun for anybody. Bretonia is just OP right now. We're just gonna pick a different faction. Nobody wants to watch that or play against it right now. Is it time for the old world yet? Nah, not yet. Hopefully soon. All right, Khorne, way better. Dude, Outer Region getting his beloved Chaos today. So we got Khorne, and then Medley's going to be on. She will get. What's it going to be? Tomb Kings. Okay, interesting. That's way better. And Outer Region's going to be stoked. He's like, "What dark god have I appeased today?" Well, you're doing them. You're honoring the dark gods by winning these games. So, Khorne. Okay, I'm going to see if the players want to do their rerolls. Kind of feels like it's Chaos Knight a little bit. Although to be fair, we had some Empire earlier. We haven't had too many elves. BFG says I've been playing Diablo 4. Yeah, a lot of people have, man. It looks great. It's too much clicking for me. I'm too old. It's like, I could do it, but I wouldn't be able to do it enough to like be good at it and also, maintain my hand health. So I don't want to jam it. Sad not. Is it yeah, Bretonia is just OP. Yeah, they're really OP. I'll get excited for the AOS RTS when there's more factions. Yeah, it's same. I'm kind of in the same boat right now, but I'm still going to cover it and play because I want to learn the mechanics. Aces. Okay. So if Outer Region just straight up, Outer Region, we could close with an FFA too. That could be kind of fun. We haven't had one of those in a while. Yeah, if Outer Region wins this game, nobody is going to have time, unless the stream goes like 5 hours, to catch them. So what we're probably going to do is if Outer Region wins this, then Outer Region will have won the stream. But if Medley wins, then she has the opportunity to surpass the score, which I think is 4 right now. Could be more than that. I'm not sure. Could be it. Diablo's and that super click spam. That's nice to hear. Oh, Scarbrand the Exiled, baby. Let's go. Oh, and double Bone Giant from Medley. Look at this. This is exciting. Yeah, oh yeah, Baldur's Gate 3. Yeah, the wife and Pone and I are going to have to get some reps on that. Oh, man, the only thing that sucks is Anna's going back to Poland right when that comes out. We're going to have to figure out a way to... And her computer's here. Her tower. We'll have to scheme something. But regardless, we'll play Baldur's Gate on the channel, like 100% once it comes out. Yeah. It's Marlon Scarbrando down by the waterfront, or is it down on the waterfront? It's the Marlon Brando movie where he's like a boxer, and he's like in the back of the car, and like apparently there's the whole drama with like throwing a fight, and he has that like epic speech about being a contender. I could have been somebody instead of a bum. It's like, oh, it's so good. Yeah, it was great. All right, here we go. It's Bone Daddy time, baby. So, taking a look here at the forces of Outer Region, it's going to be Scarbrand the Exiled with the double Cultists, and it's a classic. Cultists of Khorne are just insanely good. They have great stats. Their summon is pretty nice. They're basically little mini legendary lord fighters on the waterfront. Yeah. No, Baldur's Gate full release is happening in early August, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's happening in early August. Yeah, sorry if there's a little bit of lag. I don't know. It's just been off and on today. Marauders, Chaos Warriors, and yeah, that's pretty much it for Khorne. Very simple, going to be getting in there. And looking at Medley's army, it looks like she's going to be rocking a front line of skeleton spearmen as well as halberds. Double big erect bone giant. So these guys, I mean, if they can land their hits on Skarbrand, it's going to be very devastating. But Skarbrand can obviously juke and dodge and can be a little bit tricky. Wasn't that De Niro? No, it wasn't. De Niro was in Raging Bull. I think you might be confusing those two movies. Raging Bull is is that the Jake LaMotta story? Yeah. It's a good one. It's a good one for sure. Yeah, it was fun. So Bone Giants and some Sneaky Snakes. Eyes of the Desert are great. They have magic halberds, so they can fight off Fleshhounds pretty well. They can also shoot at big targets like Skarbrand. And yeah, Outer Region does not leave home without Skarbrand. He is a Skarbrand enjoyer. But the thing is, the one issue, like this is very much like if Medley doesn't manage to punish Skarbrand with the Bone Giants, and he just kind of runs around and survives, the Khornate army will probably outgrind the Tomb Kings in like a melee fight. That's a place they for sure should have a decent advantage. So double cultists are lined up, ready to party. Skarbrand stomping his hooves angrily as the Marauders of Khorne with dual weapons prepare to move up and go after the objective here. And yeah, Marauders of Khorne dual weapons, I like them. 44 melee attack. Tomb King's infantry, especially Skeleton Spears, have like god-awful melee attack, so you can really get away with having bad melee defense on these guys. Certainly not going to be hurting. And a couple Chaos Warriors moving up as well. Medley going to be calling in what appears to be... Nope, no more call-ins, just the Kepler Guard. So the Giant Boner Giants taking some shaft shots here at the Cultists of Khorne. And not quite able to deliver the shaft to their faces. Skarbrand is probably the better target, but he's not in range at the moment. It looks like he's probably juking just outside of range, clearly watching those. So here they come, and a Boner Giant shaft. Oh man, he just barely dodged that one. I don't know how, that went like right over his head. That was like some Matrix shit. So Boner Giants still nailing into Skarbrand, and the fighting is soon to be on, which is not going to be good for the Tomb Kings. If Khorne gets to fight with all their melee units without being bombarded or cycle charged or harassed, it's going to be a bad time. Skeleton Warriors versus the Berserkers of the Blood God. Ark in the Black is there. He can drop some skeleton summons to help out in this fight. He's also a pretty respectable fighter himself, but you can see the Skeleton Warriors pretty much getting butchered on most fronts, and it looks like there's going to be some Spirit Leech action going down. And Skarbrand did get hit with one Boner Giant shaft so far. It didn't do an insane amount of damage, but it is keeping Skarbrand busy, and I mean, on that same note, that is going to be a lot of micro for Outer Region that maybe isn't going to be allocated somewhere that perhaps is a little bit more efficient, but we'll have to see. Kepler Guard heading up to the middle, and they're going to be going to do battle with the Cultists, and yeah, ooh, nice shots there. Skarbrand, he's certainly got the moves, but now he's going in for the kill. He sees the Wizard. Khorne wants Wizard. It's going after Ark in the Black, and Ark in the Black able to get away. Nice micro by Medley as she lures Skarbrand into a trap, offering the most succulent temptation here, Ark in the Black to Skarbrand. And the Eyes of the Desert do get some nice shots. I wonder if he's going to start Spirit Leeching these cultists as well. Now, looking at the frontline fights, Khorne obviously not doing badly here. Marauders doing well, and the Tomb Scorpion's been called in, though. I do like that. It's a cool choice by Medley, getting the Tomb Scorpion to get some terror and also a little bit of stopping power, but there's a response by Outer Region. Outer Region does get the big bulls on parade, and I think those bulls need to make sure to go after the Tomb Scorpion here if they can, but instead it looks like they're heading over to the objective. Skarbrand getting blasted in the face pretty hard now. It's getting a little bit crazy here as the cultists in the back do drop some Bloodletter summons, so one cultist did get a little bit low right there, and he does drop the nice Bloodletter summon on top of the skeletons and the Eyes of the Desert, which is very cost effective. And the other cultist now is going to be doing battle with the Boner Giant, which it's going to be fine. Bone Giants have, like, they basically can't hit the broadside of an infantry barn. Like, when it comes to Bone Giants fighting, like, single entity infantry, I've just, like, for some reason, they just can't hit. It's like the weirdest shit. They just take, like, 10 years. Now, I like this kind of layering of defense by Medley, like having the Great Bows back here to start shooting at these characters, and Skarbrand feels relatively strong. But Skarbrand does get back there and is basically just going balls deep on this Bone Giant, getting quite a bit of damage. Tomb King's still contesting this objective. The Khornate infantry slowly winning. Sword of Khorne with the steel chair nails down the Skeleton Spearmen here, and those bad boys going to be crumbling. Oh, that looks so cool, the Sword of Khorne on that objective. That was badass. That was really, really cool, actually. So Marlon Skarbrando here going to be doing some attacks on Ark in the Black, and it looks like the Eyes of the Desert able to intercept a couple of the Bloodletters, still trying to peel those units off. Skarbrand, does Skarbrand have, he should have Gore Feast. I don't know why Skarbrand doesn't have that. Like, the ability to heal in combat, like, I know some of the other Khorne demons do, but if anybody would be ready to party with Gore Feast, I feel like it'd be Skarbrand. But as we predicted, the Khorne infantry are going to be winning many of these like small little engagements here. Granted, Kepler Guard are going to be changing the dynamic of this fight a little bit. The backfield, Hounds of the Blood Hunt coming, as well as Minotaurs of Khorne with great weapons. It looks like the big epicenter of combat is going to be taking place on Objective 1. Nice Ushabti Great Bow play. Ushabti Great Bows basically just sitting in the back very, very safely and just, you know, getting some nice direct fire into Skarbrand. Meanwhile, cultists being very disruptive, and Khorne cultists, they're very good at this. They're basically just trying to stick on the Bone Giants, keep them from shooting. Double shafts. Oh, the shaft. 1 shaft hits and 2 shafts hit. So Skarbrand the Exiled in a little bit of danger here, ladies and gentlemen. He's down to the Bone Zone, down to 2100 HP. He's trying his best. As more and more Chaos Warriors of Khorne continue moving up, we do see objective number 2 is currently going to be owned by Khorne. Objective 3 owned by Khorne as well. And the far side objective has been taken by the Champion of the Blood God. So though Medley might be able to scrap some value and be ahead on value, Skarbrand still causing a ton of havoc, and he does rampage Medley's Lord. Arkan the Black is in big, big danger here. You don't want to be fighting Skarbrand. I wish he had brought Wrathful Reaper. I'd be full chub if that was the case, but still seeing Skarbrand just battling in this cool Chaos Dwarf map I think is really, really neat. And yeah, Arkan is probably going to die here. This is a big game-changing play. It kind of looks like Medley was scrapping back on value, but all it takes once is to, get caught by the Blood God's Champion, and you're going to be paying the Troll Toll. So another Bone Giant shaft trying to save Arkan. He cares not from where the shafts flow, and Skarbrand is going to be taking out Arkan the Black, currently sitting at 257 HP, so those shafts were actually doing quite a bit. Is Skarbrand going to find a way to get away and live? Maybe. Oh, man, look at that. The Marauder Horsemen! Not Marauder Horsemen, but the Skeleton Horsemen Archers. They're going to get him crumbling. He's at 0 leadership. Oh, man, Khorne doesn't want to lose its Lord also. Be pretty painful for them in the leadership department. If you can get Skarbrand away and just unsummon him, that would be the best play. Just going home to Khorne and just being like, hey, Dad, look at me. I took out Arkan. Be great. But Medley assumes it's over, taps out. Probably was over, to be honest, with a triple cap. I loved Medley's build, though. The double Bone Giant is just so fun. But Skarbrand catching Arkan was just too much, and that was going to be it. So let's go ahead and update it. So today's King of the Hill is going to be Outer Region. Congrats to Outer Region for winning, showing they're one of the top players in the entire world. Going to be closing now with an FFA if you want to join. You won. All right. So, well played. Medley says, I'll get you one day, Outer Region. You gotta shake your fist angrily. Turn FFA. All right. And let's get in here. So I just made one. It's an FFA. And we're going to close out with this. Should be fun. I got the itch to play a little bit, so we gotta do it. At the Altar of Battle. That's such a cool map. We'll do this one. And let's do this and this. So anybody's welcome to join, even if you already played earlier. So you're welcome to come back for round 2. And pick whoever you want. Pick whoever you want. Treat yourself. Kind of want to play the rats a little bit. I don't know. I feel like they haven't been getting a ton of love lately. That map is very cool, but it also can take a long time, especially if there's lag. So let's hedge our bets here and go with the Lost Temple. Yes. Perfect. GG. Well played. Outer Region with the steel chair today. Certainly showing no mercy. All right. So we got Fidel in here with the Chaos Dwarves. Oh, for the love of God, no Chaos Dwarf like Doom trains either. Please. If you're going to play Chaos Dwarfs, I don't want to see any of those trains. Come on. That's just pure filth in FFA. It would be unstoppable. So yeah, no more of that. Who do we play? I don't know. Lizardmen are fun. Lizardmen are really good in FFA. The Empire, we got to go with our beloved Empire. Yeah, we got to do it. All right, so let's get the army blocker up. We got to surprise our foes. Okay. We got Beastmen, Grand Cathay, and Lizardmen. All right, I dig it. This is a pretty solid little run of players and factions here. I want to do something very fun, but a lot of the fun stuff is just kind of degenerate. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's a little bit scary. All right. I think it's been too long since we've had the Prince and Emperor here. Boris Todbringer's been stealing all the fun, so we got to bring your boy Franz. It's not going to be the best build, but it certainly will be a build. Okay, do this, get you here, drop that, yes, and yes. Perfect. So for the rest of the army, let's do this. Beastmen, Grand Cathay. All right. This army feels a little bit janky. That gives you how much reserve? So that's going to give you enough to cast maybe one more heal. That's probably worth it. Franz can lose Foe Seeker. Oh man, guys, this is a monstrosity. Give us some Luminarch action. It could be. Could be. You guys are going to like this, I think. Let's see what other color schemes we have. Cult of Sigmar is always a nice one. Averland is cool. Hockland. We could play McDonald's Empire. Osland. I've always had a soft spot for Stirland. We'll do a little Stirland action. The thing is, like, I feel like I wanted to go mass mortar wagons, but I don't think anybody's going to bring like an army that mortar wagons are good against. So that's a bit of a tricksy hobbitses. All right. Well, let's see what happens here. Sigmar preserve us. No, there's some lasers. Don't worry. Yeah, there's some lasers. You guys think it's mass mortar wagons? No, because the problem is they're not going to bring... Medley's going to go blimp. Medley's going to have like probably like 8 blimps floating around with like one character on the ground. Outer Region's going to go double Gorgon with any number of Beastmen Lords to choose from. It's going to be a monster mash, or either double Gorgon or a Minotaur train. We know what suffering is coming, you know. Lizardman is probably Dread Saurian with healing, would be my guess. But remember, FFA in this game is about points. So even if your army loses, if you're able to farm enough points off players, then you're chilling. All right, let me get rid of the scoreboard here. Close all that down. Thank you guys for joining today. It's been really fun. We're taking it back to the old school, finishing our streams off with where is that? Finishing our streams off with an FFA. It was an old tradition. We once had it. I don't think any of these players really lag either. You know, I've been the one having lag tonight, so hopefully it'll hang in there. But we have Prince and Emperor. We have a steam tank. We got a lot of cool shit. Yeah, FFA can be very fun. It can make for some super meme moments. All right, Lost Temple. Here we go. Sigmar preserve us. You guys ready for the most glorious Sigmar army? So we got Franz. We got a steam tank. We have a Luminarch. And then we have a Demi-Blob, which is awesome. Demogryphs are just the coolest shit ever. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Very straightforward here. So over here we got the beast. I'm probably gonna get ambushed, I feel. What do we got over here? Yeah. The Luminarch going and sitting up in the middle is good. You gotta make sure you don't get surrounded though. You know, things can go very bad. Alright, let's just ready it up. I doubt any of these folks have big armies here, so. The Helden Hammer is here. Hopefully Franz can do something. He's got his pet life wizard. The iconic duo. I'd be really happy if Franz got the treatment that Lewin got, where he got like 1,000 more HP. He's literally wielding the Warhammer. He's like Sigmar Manifest. You know, they can't give Homie as much HP as King Lewin. I know Lewin the Grail Knight, but come on, Badger. Okay, maybe Lewin should have a little bit more HP. So he's literally like a supernatural knight, but you know, you get the idea. Really appreciate the fiber. We're gonna keep it going for Sigmar, baby. Somebody's doing some big scheming here. I can't help but think there's gonna be like a Haggard Beastman ambush. I can't help but think it. Ah, I knew it. I knew it. All right. I ain't getting sandwiched here today. Oh my God, it's Khazrak. We have to go for the shot on Khazrak, guys. We have to. Okay. Oh my God, it's doing the 360 no-scope thing. Oh, Khazrak's about to get blasted. Oh no, oh no, it's an ambush. Oh God, this doesn't feel good. Are these the Great Weapon variant? Oh my God, it is the Great Weapon variant. Okay, let's keep moving and grooving. There's no way I can beat this Beastman army. It's got too much. So we basically just have to hoof it with this thing and just hope that that's gonna get away. Okay, so let's get the steam tank being sacrificed. People have to know when they're in trouble, right? So I'm gonna just bring the Beastmen herd over here. We're just gonna let the steam tank like fight in melee and just, you know, hopefully steam cannon some of these guys. We'll see. The Luminarch's in danger, but he basically built his army to counter mine. It's like a bunch of great weapons. Okay, let's go. Okay, keep moving over here. We sacrifice what we have to, you know. Yeah, Minotaurs with great weapons, Centaurs. There's literally, I have no chances here against that army. I have none whatsoever. Look at this shit. It's basically a hard counter against my army. Oh no. Medley, I'm not coming after you. I'm just running from the beastman. Please. If I tried to fight this, I would get steamrolled so hard. Holy shit. No, Medley, fight the lizardman. Stop shooting me. All right, you know what? Screw it. We need points. We're getting in there. Okay, so let's do our demis. Let's get into this Cathay army. And do we have any regrowths? We do on these demis. Let's pop it. Well, these guns are about to set up about face, and we need to get you onto these. The beastmen aren't going to be far behind. They're busy just bashing on the steam tank. All right. This is looking a little bit scary for sure. These are fire rain rockets. Let's go get on those. So one artillery piece is offline, so we're able to get on the board. There are some halberds coming though. Let's get some heals. Pull back this way. Keep these demis fighting here. Pull back, and we need to get Franz to go do some work. It looks like a traderkin going down here. Interesting. So let's fan out a couple different directions. Franz is going to go here. And these demis are still causing a lot of havoc. We're still in this. The Bray Herd is going to be a nightmare. There's no way I can effectively trade with it. Okay, let's get you demis out this way. We'll go ahead and land Franz on the ground. See if the Dragon Lord wants to land there. These demis are just so stuck. They're so stuck here. But the Beastmen got a lot of points against me. That's the problem, so. Okay, let's gather up. And where's Franz at? Okay, so the boys are going to gather up here. We'll get a fat Earthblood to heal him up. The survivors of the Great Beastmen Wars. These halberds, appreciate if they'd stop chasing me, that's for sure. All right, so let's get in. We can do a little bit of fighting against the Beastmen now. Now that they're busy embroiled in combat versus two other players, we can do battle with them. Although it looks like the Minotaurs with Great Opens are over there as well. Okay, so let's run, and then pull back. Looks like some Lizardmen are chasing me, some Cold One Riders. So we're gonna get like around the bend here. As we see, the Minotaurs aren't committed to combat, so this is gonna give some time for the other players to fight here. We're just so in the pits on points though. Outer Region's gotta be, he's so jacked right now. Okay, so maybe if these Minotaurs commit to a fight here, we can take it. Yeah, we can go jump now. All right, so let's get the demis. Yeah, we have the anti-large demogryphs. Franz and company are getting in there. Let's get you guys getting into the infantry. Cutting them down. Fran's gonna go after these. Let's pop all the buffs for Sigmar! Avenge the steam tank! The steam tank was too good. It had no chance to live. All right, so we get in. We're battling. We do have the decent lance pressure. Franz himself is nearby. But yeah, it's looking pretty tough here, guys. There's gonna be another traderkin. The Beastmen armies are obviously gonna run out of steam, but holy shit, what the hell is that? Some Grand Cathay witchcraft going down here. Oh man, this is nuts. Yeah, the poor butchers, or excuse me, the poor ROR demis are just not having a good time. Okay, let's pull back, and we can get Franz to go for some gooning attempts. The Beastman army does break. Or not all of it, just those spears. Alright, let's go. Let's do this, let's pull back. And are we still being hunted? We are, a little bit. Okay, let's keep looping back this way. Franz is a little bit trapped up here, but he might be able to get some attacks with old Galmaraz. The demis, still somewhat healthy, but yeah, they're obviously not happy fighting Minotaurs with Great Opens. Franz might be able to get some smashing blows on these guys. He's going to have a heal here soon. Yeah, but that fight is still scary. I wish these halberds would come help me. There's some Cathay halberds over here. They should recognize that we're fighting against a mutual foe, the dreaded beasts. Probably a regrowth here in a couple seconds. I think we'll have enough, and yeah, we do have plenty of power reserve, so. Halberds doing their thing. Let's have you guys bounce out, intercept those guys. Some of them can come in, rear charge these, and yeah, we'll do probably an Earthblood, honestly, is going to be better. All right, so we get the rear charge. The Beastmen do get surrounded a little bit. And let's get our Jade Wizard to go help out. You have the big anti-large boys doing their thing. Fran's able to get away, but those Minotaurs with Great Opens, man, are very, very nasty. Hey, we're not last on points. We're close. I mean, obviously we lost half our army like right away, but you know, that's something. All right, let's go. Come on, team. Back into the bushes we go. We need to escape this situation here. This is just all bad. Okay, so 4. Let's get you guys going this way, and we finally broke those Centaurs, which is good. Let's get Franz and get these guys in 2. Yes, demis and with lances and the minotaurs with great opens feels pretty bad. All right, guys, come on, keep it up. We got to just lure them in. Oh my God, look at Lizard Moses over here, dude. Tehenuin's going hard. Yeah, we do not want any of that Beastman blob, dude. We just need to find like scraps around the map and just go for them. We're like digging through the trash right now. The Beastmen are tired of being made fun of. They're like, we've had enough. No longer. So looking at the points, Outer Region's looking pretty jacked. But his army probably won't survive the day. Okay, so Franz, I think a big regrowth on Franz would probably be good. Go get some of these Ungors in the bushes. Just run them down. It's free points. You know, all the other armies are pretty jacked. I mean, this army's terrifying also. Look, it's got Thunderous One, Tehenuin. We're just here for the scraps, ladies and gentlemen. Let's dig through the trash and see what we can find. All right, so those guys go down here. We got some Centaurs with great opens over there chilling. They're going to get back. And look at that. We're farming some points. Fidel and I are in the pits. Okay, so Ungor Spearman broken. Do we chase them and just keep farming? It's about as good as it's going to get on points, although. Yeah, you can see the dreaded Khazrak blocks is really scary. Okay, they're going to run off the field. We can go look for some greener pastures now. How much mana do we have? Okay, 22 power reserves. We have enough for another regrowth, actually. We could do it on Griffites, but they only have 7 models, so probably the other demis are better. I don't know why I brought Lance demis. It was stupid. Everyone in this format usually just spams big things. Okay. Yeah, so we got the box here. The Terracotta Sentinel's getting in there. We could go help Medley's dragon, form an alliance. Let's go see if we can help the dragon out, maybe. We're gonna cruise over there, pull our demis under, go after the Blackhorn Ravagers. The problem is if Franz goes in for the heroic save and then Medley doesn't turn and fight, then I'm dead. You know? Then we're the ones in the pits of hell. Oh, hello. Some big-ass lizardman monsters coming in there. Druid! I don't know why they're attacking Celestial Dragon Guard, but it is what it is. Okay, Franz. Franz is still going like a champ. You know, he's got 800 value. He's hanging in there. Damn, I just like... The best builds I've seen for the Empire, though, in FFA are just wagon spam. And you just run and just shoot everyone and get a ton of points. It's pretty nuts. I mean, I could fight this box, but it's not going to go well. I'm just going to get wrecked. The Beastmen, we might end up working with the Forbidden Beastmen. So Medley's out at this point. We have to work together against the Beastmen. I wish I could communicate with Fidel. Fidel, we need to stop the Beastmen, so let's work together. If you're listening to the stream, we gotta go take down the Bray Herd. Yeah, so the Bray Herd's running. Looks like that Lord got killed. He's like kind of cutting me off a little bit. I could get some heals, so let's gather up here, and drop a fat heal. Fat heals. Now let's move. All right, guys. We have to get the fake victory, the last man standing. You know, the consolation prize. All right, so let's go after you. Let's do this. Go after this. And let's get the Lance Demis to come in and just help out with whatever at this point. We'll charge, and it looks like Franz and company should be able to beat up these Minotaurs. And the Beastman army is pretty much running for the hills. Lance Demis get an okay little engagement there, but I believe my opponent used the heal. Something to help out. We do break down the Minotaurs here. Let's run away. All right, guys, the ceremonial. Let's keep hunting. We don't want to miss out on the party. All right, Franz, time to Galmaraz Khazrak. Although, man, Galmarazing the other guy too is quite tempting. All right, so our demis are basically just picking off the scraps. Franz is going to be flying and looking for goodies. I will not stand idle. Dude, I'm so sad we didn't get to use the what's it called, the Luminarch. It died. It was too good for this Earth. Galmaraz, let's go. All right, Khazrak just got hammered by like half the old world there. All right, let's attack Tehenuin in the back a little bit. Yeah, we'll give him the biz. Franz just needs to get some points. Oh, Oh god, the lizardmen are turning on me. Oh god. Franz! Come on, Carl. Okay, are we gonna have another regrowth for Carl? We are, excellent. So he's not out of this yet. Let's go hunt down your boy Kazrak and get our wizard to go help out too. We cleaned up the back. You know, we're getting some points. We're gonna take our characters and go hunt Kazrak down though. I don't know if France can win this fight 2v1, but with the regrowth coming in, maybe. All right, we got a nice engagement there. Kazrak's getting beat up a little bit. We're gonna have another regrowth coming in a second. Oh, Griffite's got caught. I wasn't watching. It's all good. The ceremonial, the revenge, the revenge. All right, get him. Kill him. Kill him now. All right, so the problem is we're not gonna have any shit on the ground. But dude, look at the points out of region got. Absolutely insane. Chariot's just being haggard as usual. All right. So we finally got your boy Kazrak, but dude, outer region's points are just massively. We would have to like combine all of our points to have any sort of a chance there. So we'll just chase Kazrak with our life wizard and use a regrowth on Franz. And let's head back here and just see if we can get any points. Hey, demis came back. I'll take it. Give me the scraps. If the demis can just hunt down some of these like beastman archers or something, that'd be pretty good. Okay, let's get you back. Tehenowin is pretty low. Kazrak is broken, but we're still farming points off him. That Thunderous one looks like it's mighty close to being dead also. You got the Griffites. We're going to need the Griffites to do a little something something. Okay, thankfully the Lizardmen units should turn around very slowly. So we should be able to get some decent charges here. Oh, charging on the Thunderous one. Kazrak's off the battlefield. Come on, Franz! We don't want to get last place. Come on! Come on! Come on, Carl! Okay, Carl's almost got the Thunderous one down, and the Griffites are coming in the fourth quarter. All right, outstanding. Caster's coming back. We do not have enough for any sort of magic at this point. Fran's gonna go do battle with Lizard Moses. Oh, this could be hard, actually. Lizard Moses is no slouch. Pop all those buffs. Get in there with Galmaraz. Jade Wizard. Dude, look at the 4 Griffites, dude. The 4 anti-large Griffites there nibbling away is big. And Galmaraz is also quite nice. What's Franz? What kind of value is Franz sitting at? Probably pretty decent. Oh, man. Franz is going for it, dude. Look at him. Oh, the Prince and Emperor. All right. Let's keep closing. And, you know, after that horrific start, where we lost, like, you know, 40% of our army for nothing, I feel like it was a decent recovery. Now we just got to hunt down this this Bray Shaman. I'm pretty sure it's the last thing. A couple casters over here. And, did we get it? Yeah, that Bastillodon is shattered, so shattered units don't give any points. So we just need to go hunting archers now. Bray Shaman chasing down a couple demis. Juke it! Shattered. Alright. So now we just go hunting the Bray Shaman. Yeah. Not bad. So we'll end up getting second. Outer region is just crushed it on damage. Absolutely crushed all of us. He farmed my tank. He farmed my Luminarch before I could move it into position. And on top of that, he also did a shitload of damage against the other players, it looks like. Absolute beatdown. Okay, let's head over here. Fran's looking at 3,200. That's pretty respectable, man. The big man, you know, he's good at fighting. Got his magic damage. The Bray Shaman in its natural habitat, the trees. Our Royal Altdorf Griffite here is just barely hanging on. So here he comes with his mighty Bray Shaman. The bravest shaman in all the realms. What if there's just some Minotaurs in the trees waiting for me? That would be so funny. Alright. I don't know where the rest of his units are, though, so I can't chase him down, really. Hey, the Empire endures. Yeah, it's true. I mean, you know, they didn't win on points, but we endured. Of sorts. Alright, so the Bray Shaman's gone. He probably has some stock units somewhere. I don't know where they are, honestly. The one Griffite is just gonna keep running. He deserves a promotion. I always wish that the Empire characters, like the Lords, could have the demigryph mounts. How cool would that be if like Empire captains could ride a demi? Oh, that'd be the coolest shit. I don't know how good it'd be. Oh god, I can't retreat them. Yeah, we're just meet me in the middle, wherever you are. You gotta just find your way. Okay, he just tapped out. Yeah. GG, well played. It was a good match. It's befitting that the King of the Hill wins this also. Further solidifying his glorious crown. It looks like his unit shattered, so not bad. Not bad. It was a good match. Dude, when I saw his army, there's like nothing I could do against it. It's just a ton of anti-large against my cav and tanks and loomies and like great weapon centaurs. Just no chances. Just brutal. Medley's army looked pretty cool, but Medley kind of got flanked. Like Medley could have had a good fight, but I kind of flanked Medley because I was just desperately running and trying to get points. So Medley had a rough run getting flanked like that for sure. Yeah. In the more traditional fight, this army would have been great, but yeah, obviously I was panicking and running. Fidel's army is classic Lizardman. Lizard Moses, holy shit, he did well. Yeah, look at that. 3.9, Franz with 3.5. What did it? Kazrak with 2,000 is very respectable. It's very respectable. I was expecting the outer to rush me first. Yeah, the Empire, if I had gone mass wagons, I could have escaped, but you know, it's like, it's not fun. That's boring. All right, guys, that's going to be it. Stream's going to be a little bit short tonight. I'm just recovering from a cold, so trying to take it easy. And but we'll be back tomorrow or the next day. Yeah, I'm not sure when, but there will be more streams this week. You guys fasten your seatbelts and get ready for the good times. Shout out to Outer Region for winning tonight and all of our champions who played. It was very fun. Thank you guys for your donations and support, and to our new channel member. If you guys enjoyed the stream, do drop a like on the way out. Helps out quite a bit. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back in the next few days. And once again, I want to thank you all for joining tonight.